Look, I know what the title of this live stream is. If you're gonna give me a 1440p or a 1080p, I'm gonna ban you, the first guy, whoever does that. Apart from that, how is it going, everyone? It's been a while. It's been almost 2 weeks since the last live stream, so I was like, fuck it, let's do another one, let's do a new one, because I like doing live streams generally. I just think, yeah, it's been a long time. I got a new haircut like literally today. It looks miserable, but whatever. I don't have like crazy plans, honestly, because I went through, we have like this channel, right, that improved my game, but there wasn't anything like crazy. Like, it's been kind of quiet the last like 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want, I guess, and catch up a bit on what's been going on, because I am angry. Maybe I should start with that. If you're watching this, Thomas, I swear to God, I hope he's not watching this. He has been teasing me for like, I talked about this with him. I was like, hey Thomas, you're the guy who was like, oh yeah, you should do 3 live streams every week. It's good for the YouTube channel, right? And I was like, sure thing, buddy. And then he did 2 live streams in all of December, and I had to do everything else. And then he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna make it up when I have my PTO days, like from his main job, I'm gonna just like do a full day live stream. He's been on PTO the entire week. Do you think he has done a live stream? You can see the same as I. No, he hasn't. So this chat box is kind of right next to me. Let me move myself over a little bit. So yeah, I guess it's gonna be a bit of a just chatting stream. I don't know. I have some game dev stuff that I definitely do want to talk about as well. How are my audio levels? Because it's been a while as well since I've done it. I feel like my audio may have been a bit too loud, it's too little. At least it's not an apology live stream. That's the one good thing I have now. So yeah. Mick creates games, Junia. Yeah. Hi everyone. I guess in the meantime, I wanted to showcase. Let's leak some stuff. You remember Overtime Anomaly, right? This is a oh god damn it! I just jump scared myself.
Thanks for wanting to
We redid the lighting
I knew I could count
from the last time, and we have doors now that go open like this.
if anything weird does come.
It looks a lot more spooky, I think, because the last time we didn't have baked lighting, and now for both Magical Girl Guardians and Overtime Anomaly, we kinda did like finally learning how do you bake lighting in Unity. Oh, my head is too high. I'm above chat now. God damn it. So yeah, we've been working on these as well. I think it's gonna be pretty hype. I just had a meeting, like we do like weekly Bite Me course an hour ago. And it was basically just William, and it's like kind of a show and tell where we all talk about whatever we were working on. Actually, I'm gonna just move my camera because now I shouldn't be able to go. Yeah, I'm behind chat. Of like what have we been doing in the past week, and then for example Magical Girl Guardians, we play tested all together, and William showed me some of the stuff he was working on for like the tasks. Actually, I think some of them might already be implemented. No Twitch, unfortunately. Oh my god, it keeps jump scaring me.
Thanks for wanting to
Because I have some issues with like my bandwidth connection not being good enough. So we've got like some very simple
does come up. Just let Frank
mechanics.
from
How do I throw?
security know.
Because we want to do like little sorting mini games or whatever. It's not gonna be actual blocks and like cleaning off memos. But we've been working on that. And we have that little dot now. Oh, this isn't awkward. Oh, I can't look all the way down. Okay, it's in there. So like we have a bunch of stuff.
New 10 donation from Kay. Hi,
Thanks.
Marnix.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks for the $10 as well. So let me take a quick look, because I don't want to make it all about this game. What's the plan for Overtime Anomaly when you want to release? That was part of our Bite Me core. Initial goal was like January still, end of January. Probably Valentine's Day is the day we have right now for when we want to release this game. Like middle of February probably. We spent earlier today as well, because this is still the default scene of the asset pack that we're using. Earlier today, I had another meeting with William for, okay, we've planned out now what is the entire level going to be, like how we want to do our layout, because there's some issues. There's no like looping, and this is not a good level for the game. There's also a bunch of artifacting and whatever. So we planned what do we want from the game, and then I think in the next week we'll be working on the final level. So I think that's a pretty good one. It was just the default Unity bake for this one, Kasha. I have had to, both Thomas and William have been complaining so much to me about it. I'm like, now I have to wait for 2 hours, or I think for Magical Girl Guardians, it's like 5 hours. It's like, yeah, I don't want to wait for it to bake, because we've done some stuff on that as well. Yeah. I thought this was a flex and gossip channel. No. Tier lists, we have 2 tier lists coming late January, early February, probably, which I think should be good as well. I'm gonna slightly reduce my music because I can not hear myself. I think you should be fine. Happy New Year from a tabletop game creator. Yeah. Happy New Year to you, the grinning frog. Mick creates games. Speaking of assets, asset flips, do players care, or is it just a trigger word for artists? So there's a script. Hopefully, I don't want to leak all my video scripts. This is a video. I'm gonna scrap it, I think, or I'm going to fully rework it. But basically, I made a video script. Oh, I'm gonna leak everything. God damn it! I don't want to leak all upcoming videos. I wrote this script of like, what is an asset flip, and do people care? This is how a Bite Me Games video script looks, by the way. It's like high level, the points. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna make this video because it comes over a bit too whiny after I like slept on it. But I think what we learned is that I think game developers are kind of stupid. It's okay, hot take, I know. But I think you often are a bit detached from what your audience wants. You think only about what you want. I think you don't fully understand your audience. This is an asset flip more, and then people were screaming bloody murder about Magical Girl Guardians, whereas that's not an asset flip, and this is an asset flip. So yeah. When will your tier list have 2 axes? It's something I've considered, but it's like, put it on a graph, like a line graph, but it doesn't sound as nice as a tier list. So yeah, I also had that video idea of, I wanted to make this video about what is an asset flip, how much should you care about it, all of that, and it's like, should you make games with assets? And the answer to that is yes, but there's other things that you should focus then on instead. And I wrote the script like a day or 2 after everything went down, and it was a bad time for me. Kind of the reason I haven't live streamed in 2 weeks is also because I was just scared. I genuinely didn't want to start streaming again because I was scared of the backlash. I don't know. Like, this was the first time we got this much hate. Like, I've had people DM people like Thomas and William on LinkedIn saying that they should get me fired and they were going to ruin my company. And I was like, what am I supposed to be doing with this? But thanks as well, Fustercluck, for the $13.99 dono as well. I'm a big fan. I'm terrified of being accused of making an asset flip. Let this game, Overtime Anomaly, be the evidence that you can't make an asset flip. I also think, let me not leak my entire email. Code Monkey talked about this in something as well in his game dev reports. Game dev report. Am I gonna find it? Where, or do I get it on my other email? Yeah, I don't know. Where, as long as you don't use Cinti, and even if you do use Cinti, people don't generally care that much. I'm gonna show you why I think it is that people. That was I think it's something I mentioned in the. Did I mention Cinti in my scripts? No, I didn't. But it's basically. Let me go to Steam. Cinti assets are by far the most recognizable ones. I think we can all agree on that, right? Yeah, indeed, it's better to write that video once I've had some more distance. I don't want to do it now. Maybe after we've released both games and we can compare like what our viewers think as well. I can't unshadow ban people to your Dog King. So I don't know what you did. I don't shadow ban people that much. Let me know what your username is. DM it to me or something and I'll see later. What was it? Oh yeah, Cinti assets, right? I always... Kingdom... No, it's not called Kingdom. Well, there's a lot of games, like for example, you have Clamfield 2049. Very... This is a... Like this looks like a Cinti asset store page. Oh, Rohan Anthony. Ah, okay, I'll take a look at it. This is Cinti assets. This is like what, 4,000 reviews, and sure, the game is $1, so more people buy it. But it's also, I think it's one-armed robber. This is Cinti assets as well. 32,000 reviews. It's about mechanics at the end of the day as well. And I think the thing is, these are even games with honestly not great post-processing and shading and whatever. I think if you want to then take it a step further, you have games like Polygon, which is also asset store. This is also Cinti, but this is Cinti in Unreal instead of Unity, so it actually looks really fucking good. How many reviews does this have? 33,000 as well. Oh, Bloodline was the other game. The Legend Bloodline or something. No, let me just... Or was it just The Bloodline? Yeah, The Bloodline. This is a €20 game, so this is very much a more expensive one. Do you recognize these assets? This is like Cinti Polygon Fantasy Kingdom. Also 3,000 reviews, basically. Don't worry about the assets, I think. What happened in our case was not exactly... I think the problem for our audience genuinely wasn't the assets. It was just the disconnect between the Bite Me Games viewer and the audience for Magical Girl Guardians. So yeah. Also, I feel like I should. Rowan, I'll take a look at it after stream, probably because I can't multitask because it's hidden somewhere, but I'm gonna enable streamer mode so you don't get Discord pings 24/7 and think that someone is messaging you. I disabled it because why not? But I think at the end of the day, and that is asset flips with Cinti. I think some more. I can keep bringing up these examples. Surround that. I'm pretty sure these were. Yeah, is this Cinti? Yeah, this was Cinti as well. And then there is another zombie survival low poly one. It's like very similar. I forgot the name of it. That also uses like the same style of assets as well. Let me first turn on streamer modes. Streamer modes. Enable. Ta-da. Okay, now you shouldn't hear the pings anymore. So, I don't think you should worry too much about making asset flips because at the end of the day, it's just smarter to do, especially if you're making like smaller-ish games, single-player games. You think that a game like Trading Card Simulator, and the thing is, I was talking about Cinti earlier. You think this doesn't use assets? You think people like, yeah, sure, it uses custom textures, but a lot of these things are also just a mix mash of assets. I think another one, Squirrel with a Gun. I can keep giving you examples of games that are asset flips. This is probably the worst one even. They made the squirrel themselves. And then there's a level 80 interview. Level 80 squirrel with a gun. How do you write level 80? Again, LV80? There was an article about it where basically what the developers did is for like 2 years, they got every single free asset from like the Unreal Marketplace. And they just threw that together into a game. Like this is the purest definition asset flip. But, because you can see like none of these things match, the silliness just works, the gameplay is good, and that is what matters more at the end of the day. This guy got 30 million views and his Steam game still flopped. Any idea of why? Take a look. What is the game? Do I know it? What is this? I have never heard of this. Oh, well, I mean,
Of bees.
wait, where is the... Oh, he sponsored the video. I see. I thought it was a game about honey. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Oof. Yeah. My resolution is to show up to more Bite Me streams. It's a good resolution. Okay, I was very confused with this 35 million views. Okay, first of all, you can see sponsor block skips first off. Second of all, it's very low, like it's very late in the video. So you have to remember out of these 35 million, like I think 60% plus have dropped off at this point. But I think then the biggest problem is just the disconnect between the audience and the game. Like first of all, this is a game that already probably shouldn't be released in 2024. The capsule art is like, you know, very generic AI generated. The gameplay is uninspiring, shall we say. $5, whatever. I think the bigger problem lies with that the people who watch these videos are not gamers. Like, sure, there's maybe a little overlap. But the people who do watch this and who play games, they play Warzone, they play FIFA, they're mainstream gamers. If you talk to them about like indie games, they look at you like you're weird. I think that's more of the reason why the performance is so bad for the 35 million views versus 37 reviews. Yeah, was the audience of the video really the type that plays these games? Not at all. If you do want to sponsor, like, I am never going to find this, but for example, there's like a YouTuber who focuses on making Sonic-like game. Or like, no, he does breakdowns of like Sonic lore and like the history of Sonic games. And there was a developer and he made a game that was in the style of Sonic. And then they partner up and did the sponsorship. That works. But this is like a Mr. Beast video almost, where so many people watch this who don't really care about games and all of that. And then yeah, they're not gonna install Steam and they're not gonna, if you make it, if you would have made like a 3D game, like a high poly PBR or like style 3D game, could have done better because it's more recognizable. But if you show a pixel art game to your mom, she's not even gonna understand that it's a game because they play mobile games, they play all other kinds of games, not this style of game, I think. Yeah, Midjourney is great for concept art and ideas. Definitely, I do still like it. Yeah, I don't want to know how much they spent on the sponsor because these are high hitters. Because yeah, I feel like this is 50K plus per video for getting, yeah. When people say asset flip, I feel like it's usually for games that they don't do anything new or interesting with gameplay. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can break it down and try and figure out what all of it is. So yeah, I'm probably planning on like in a month from now, making another video that's kind of like how not to do a game launch or a game announcement or whatever. And then I want to rework it because I think there are still some things to consider in it. What do you think of using AI chat for interactive D&D, DM, and plot support? The problem you have is then they need to bring their own API key. You cannot give the cost because what you're doing is you're making a recurring charge in a one-time payment. So if someone buys the game for like, assuming it's a game, let me pull up my Steam again. There's like two Belgian, you have Dungeon Alchemists, I think. Yeah, so this is a game from some Belgian developers, and then you also have Dungeon Architects. I'm gonna find it, 1 second. They just got a government grant, so I should be able to figure it out pretty quickly. Realm Architect, yeah, that's the other one. So these also, they were like our neighbors when we went to a game dev conference, and they were like across of us. And it's like virtual tabletop software, right? The problem is you need to do things as a subscription then, because if you want to do the AI built-in, or you would have to bring your own API key, but neither of those are ideal approaches, I think. And it's a hard sell, I think, to get people to bring their own AI keys to games, so to say. Yeah, I think if you want to see a Monster Girl... Oh, this is dangerous. Yeah, I should not look up Monster Girl here. There's like Hede? I think it's Hede. If you want to know actual asset flips, these are actual asset flips. This is a very notorious publisher, I guess, because you can see all their games like $200. This is like, you know, the weird like money laundering style of games. And they always keep getting deleted, but it's like, yeah, all very negative reviews. These are actual asset flips, as in they just buy templates of the Unity marketplace and then make a game about it, and that's it. Yeah. Also, Juan David Sanchez Jaramillo. Marnix, isn't there an issue with Steam when using AI voices? Yeah. Or is there an issue? Not really. That was another thing I was surprised by, that nobody noticed it or nobody called us out on it, because we made that trailer for Overtime Anomaly in like 48 hours, basically. I didn't have time to reach out to our voice acting guy who did Unicycle Pizza Time. At this point he's gonna voice normally Overtime Anomaly as well, because he can do it. We didn't have time to get actual sentences, so what we did is we just used 11 labs for it. It's one sentence. I was not gonna bother with it, but I think, is it Liar Spar? I'm not certain. I think they used something. Yeah, here. So here you have the AI generated content disclosure. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a bit to the side. This is basically all that Steam really wants/needs, is if you do use AI, like for your voices in the final game or for your marketing materials technically. The thing is, there's a lot of games, I'm gonna say something, that don't disclose it at all. And they get away with it because it's kind of hard to prove like, oh, this is an AI voice, because maybe you just had a shit voice actor. So yeah. It's better to buy art to make a fake, or make a fake game for money laundering purposes. If you have a crime syndicate that wants to launder their money through you, maybe it works. But I think Steam also, with the 30%, doesn't even make much sense to try and launder money through them. You think you simply have to reveal how AI was used to use it in Steam? Yeah, that's it. That's all you have to do. Be like, hey, we used, for this part of game development, or like this part of our game's development, we used AI. And that's basically it. The asset we used for that voice is 11 labs. So I can pull it up, I think. Because we just want to go like for free. It's just go to app. I'm sorry, everyone who's being blinded by this. I don't know if there's a dark mode, I don't think so. But it's basically, you just pull in your text. On the free plan, you get 10,000 credits, which is 10,000 characters. And you just click like generate speech, and then it takes it away, and you get it.
Thanks
basically.
for picking up the slack tonight. We need to.
And this definitely sounds bad. What we did for the trailer is we put it through like one of those telephone filters. Oh man, this is too bright. You know, where your sound quality goes down as if someone's calling you. And I think that was enough. We want to do it better for the full game though, so we're working on that. Yeah, the voice we used did sound really impressive. Wow, I thought you were saying it didn't. I think, yeah. I made a low effort game with custom art. I got good enough reception. I personally don't think effort is important to scratching your... Yeah, at the end of the day, effort only matters for other game developers who feel bad about the fact that you're probably gonna have more success with your shitpost of a game you made in 3 months than their masterpiece of a game, that they made in like a year or 5 years or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, 11 laps, it's fine. Damn, we've got 100 people watching. Oh, why did you rush the trailers out? Because we wanted to do it with the Bite Me Game Awards. We wanted to, because we wanted to do that event and we were like, hey, Game Awards does this stuff, we can do our own stuff as well. If we didn't have the Bite Me Game Awards, we didn't have that pressure. We already planned the Bite Me Game Awards like 2 months in advance. So we thought like, oh, this makes sense to do it then. But hey, turns out not always. So I think we've learned a lot. I don't think we'll immediately be doing events like the Bite Me Game Awards again, because it's also, I think our audience didn't really care about it, unfortunately. The live stream, the apology live stream, has like 4 times as many views as the Bite Me Game Awards. So we didn't lose money on the Bite Me Game Awards. Luckily, we still had sponsors for it, but it was because we know those sponsors and they want to take risks with us. It didn't pan out, I would say, this time. So I think I'm gonna take a little step back from that. My New Year's resolution is to publish my horror game for Quest. It will be an escape the room game, my first published game. Are you only gonna release it on Quest? Why are you making it a horror game for Quest in 2025? I feel like there could have been better kinds of games to make. I don't know. Am I wrong? Who are the sponsors? Rive, Planetary Processing, and Crazy Games. So they're all people that I've worked with before that have been happy of the results we've done before. So it's very easy for me to go to them and be like, hey, I've got this cool idea. Let's make it work. If you can do that with sponsors, they're super happy. Because if you can go to a sponsor and you're already excited about it, you're like, hey, this is how we're going to integrate you. This is all of that. And also the price wasn't that expensive. It would cost 300 euros per sponsor. So it's like, at the end of the day, I know, like, for example, the Crazy Games and a Rive and a Planetary Processing as well. They go to Gamescom, they go to DevCon, they spend like multiple tens of thousands of dollars all in price basically for that sponsor booth. So what is 300 bucks for some project on the internet, right? It's a bit different there. Views could have been 8 times your awards if you played to violate it. Yeah, I think the awards were really nice. I think the production quality was really good. The audience, yeah. Yeah, advertising was also, because that was the thing, we weren't sure of like how much of our audience cared about it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to vote for other like games, you want to make your own games better. So we've been learning from it. Yeah, we have the sponsor relationships, and that's what I really enjoy as well, to just do that. If I succeed with that game, I will join your Patreon to have the coaching session. I feel like you're not going to earn enough. I'm sorry to get that Patreon tier. Because I think meta kind of improved. They got rid of their, but yeah. Because also on Steam, wait. Let's take a look at some stats. Genres and tags. Let's take a look at VR games. Oh, I think if I go to Steam Analytics, I can get nicer graphs. Let's go to VR. Let's first do the before. So from January 2022, because 2020 was like, you know, everything was sold out and people were stuck inside, till the last day of 2023. How was that? 12, 2023. Okay, so median revenue was 205, total revenue 200 million. And then if we go here to 2024, what happened then? Ooh, okay, yeah, this is 2 years instead of 1. Median revenue went down slightly, total revenue went overall percentually, I think, down as well. I think it's like, look at this. 2/3 make less than 1,000. It's grim. Whereas if you look at like City Builder, or no, let's look at horror on its own. I think horror, even, yeah, there's just more of it, but like horror as well, more revenue, more median revenue as well. And I think if we want to go crazy, we look up like City Builder. And then it like total revenue stays the same, but median revenue like 5x's because there's just less games. And look at how much more people earn over like 1K as well. I think Half-Life Alyx is probably I don't think I can exclude a specific game from it. But yeah, Half-Life Alyx probably did a lot because they went on a good sale as well. Half-Life Alyx has the VR tag, but is also playable without VR now. And they went on sale for their 20-year anniversary, I think, as well. When are we getting Skip By To Me games? Not yet, I hope. How do you manage to be so consistent on YouTube? I've started several channels, went viral on one, and shortly after burned down and stopped posting instead of using that momentum. You said the answer. I think it's what I talked about in the last video I made. I'm gonna get rid of this white as well. The one about momentum, where momentum is good in the beginning. Yeah, the untold technique for completing your game. I know this was kind of clickbaity. Momentum is good, but momentum isn't enough. At a certain point, you need to have discipline as well. And it's discipline that, like, when I started this, I was like, okay, first we started with 1 video a week, and then January 2023, I was like, I'm gonna upload 2 videos a week, no matter what. And we haven't missed a single upload for 2 years at this point, basically, for those 2 videos a week, because it doesn't matter. Some other tips is batch your videos in advance. So I have a calendar, I'm not gonna leak it, where I basically know every video kind of for the next month already. And they're not all recorded yet and they're not edited yet, but I already know it. And what I then do this usually is in one day, I record like 5 videos, 4 videos or whatever. And then I edit those in like another 2 days, let's say. And that's 2-3 weeks of content done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I can go back to game development and things like that. Oh, am I gonna find this? One of the things, if I go to Patreon, we made a video on our Patreon as well about our New Year's resolutions. Here, the Bite Me Games New Year's resolution. And in this, we talk about kind of what we want to do, how much games we want to make. We also talk about merch. Merch is a difficult thing for us. I don't think I'm gonna find it. I once sent an image to Thomas. I have some ideas. The problem is I want to have good quality stuff. I have like a shitty mock-up somewhere of like some merch ideas we had. White t-shirts, but the problem then also is that this is not just, you know, your regular like Gildan white t-shirts. Like, you know, your kind of crappy ones. These are somewhat premium, like these are the... If you want to buy my signature white t-shirts, you buy these. You buy the Pima Cotton Slim Fit S size. These are the shirts I wear. They're really good. And they're like the 100% cotton. I love these. I have like 15 of them or something. Yeah, the New Year video was made before Skogfall was cancelled, I think. Because that was very last minute. Art of Wearing Canna is a really high quality dropship merchant. Yeah, the problem we have then is like, does the price make sense? Because I also don't feel like it's fair to charge like 30 bucks for a t-shirt and then shipping as well. So yeah, my resolution 1, release a goddamn game. That's the probably most important one. How far ahead do you schedule? Like at most a month, I think. I've noticed I've tried more, but then like life changes in a month. And suddenly things that I was very certain of, oh, this is gonna be a good video, I'm getting like second thoughts of, I actually don't think it's gonna be worth it. Hey, Sargonius, when are you going back to Japan? Or are you in Japan now? We got a government grant. So we're planning to do some merch this year, but it's probably gonna start with some small stuff and like stuff for Bite Me to try out first. We got a government grant to expand our business to Japan. And it's nothing crazy, it's like 9,000 euros. So shout out Flanders Investment and Trade. And as part of our budgeting, we have like, because we're going to go to Bit Summit, that is confirmed. If you're going to Bit Summit, you can meet and greet me. Also, my chat isn't updating. Okay, now it is. So we'll be going there, and then as part of that, ideally we're gonna have a boot. We submitted our application for the boot, but I'll only know in May, because that's what the government grant is for. And then we'll get a bunch of Bite Me stickers and swag and whatever, because we can use the government grant money for it as well. Will you do kawaii action figures of the Bite Me Games team? I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, physical items, more than 50%, forget about it. At the end of the day, it's so nice with other things. Fun question, if you had $500 million budgets, that doesn't need to be repaid, and a dream team of pros, what game would you want to make with it as the director and the creative lead? I guess I'm the director and creative lead. I would make a walking sim probably, or I would make a sci-fi game. I've been getting a lot more. Is the grant that you have to return in full? Nope, it's a 9,000 get started, no strings, or like, the only thing I have to do is I have to show that I've been to Japan and I've at least done my best to expand our business to Japan. So go to the, like, have a picture of us at the Bit Summit booth and all of that. I'll also be going in March to the Tokyo Indie Game Summit. So I'll be for 2 weeks here. I don't know how it'll be. It's new for me as well. But I'll see, I'll try, maybe make some more content. A video I've been wanting to make as well for a while is like going to a Japanese game dev school, because they're kind of crazy there. It's just, I'm not in Japan now anymore, and I didn't get it done on time before, because my God, they want a lot of like approvals and what are you gonna talk about and what do you wanna do and all of that. It's still on my to-do list of video ideas, for example. So this is a good grant. This is a fun grant in that we can really, we just get the 9K and we have to spend it within 9 months to expand business. And because it's also, Flanders Investment and Trade is not a game specific one. Like, they're also furniture companies and food companies that get those grants. So they're more free with it, basically. I took the Belgian ambassador, or not the ambassador itself, but like the representative of Flanders Investment and Trade. I took them to Tokyo Game Show, and they were they were not used to gaming events. They're used to, like, you know, the boring business events, like tents or whatever. Like, oh yeah, we sell quality premium tents. And then you go to Tokyo Game Show where you have all of these booth babes that wear nothing. It's very different than like the West. And they just drag you into your booth if like you don't watch out. Pierce O'Connell, it's just for Belgium and only for the Dutch speak, or like the Flemish speaking part of Belgium. I know Wallonia, the French part, has something as well, AVEX, but it's different, yeah. What was your favorite game of 2024? Oh, I don't think I played a lot of games that came out in 2024. Because I think my Steam review, Steam 2024 year review, is kind of sad. Steam replay, that's it. Can I access it? It's mostly gonna be our own games. Here, Steam replay. I think UPT was pretty good. I'm gonna get cancelled for this. I'm such a fake gamer. Number 1, Unicycle Pizza Time. Number 2, Black Ops 2 multiplayer. And that's basically it. I also played some Minecraft, I played some Skyrim. So, I feel like this is wrong because there's no Forge Industry in it. Or maybe because, yeah, I played Forge Industry as well. I played a lot of Black Ops in December, basically. Endless Zone Zero, Marvel Rivals, yeah. I'm a hardcore UPT player, I think so. Can I see how much time I have? Yeah. I've been considering one of the live streams I kind of want to do at some point is play any tabletop games. I'm alone. No, I don't live with anyone. I have Thomas and William, but they're busy as well. I think a better question now I look at it is like, because a lot of these games are like games from our audience as well. Could be like, what is the most fun game I played from our audience? But I would have to like take a look at it as well. So yeah, I don't play any tabletop games. I've played Small World a few times. I do like, but that was like because I had a board game friend, and he was like, "Hey, let's play Small World," and I was like, "Fine." I did enjoy it. William is very much a board gamer because he also has the family to play board games with, basically. Because he has a lot of people, they can meet up more easily and all of that. For me, it's kind of hard. I know there are single-player board games. Like I think it's like you can do the Dark Souls board game. Because yes, there's a Dark Souls board game, but it's like 8 hours and yeah, co-op for 1 to 5 players. I feel like there's better things to do with my time than a board game, so to say. I'm alone sounds like a cry for help. Don't worry, it's fine. It's just not ideal for playing board games and things like that. Why do you choose to work on gamedev if you don't play much? I do play, I think. It's just like a Balatro. It doesn't interest me either. It's not the games I like to make. I like making games still. And I like staying up to date for the industry, but oh yeah, the Yakuza series. I played Yakuza more. Why is it not in here? I played Yakuza on my Steam Deck for like 20 hours. I also just pick up games when they're very cheap, usually. So which means like, oh, it's been on discount and like whatever. I don't really, I'm like, oh, this game is coming out right now. I want to buy it. I look at it. I look at what is the game design to do. I look at why does their marketing work and all of that. But I'm not like, one game I was considering, but their reviews were kind of ass, is, or like not ass, it's like Wizard of Legend 2, because I really enjoyed the 1. But it's like, I don't know, like if I want to spend $25 for a 25 euros for a 65% game, it's like, no. I could also just play Black Ops, because I know it's fun. That's the thing. I work a lot. I kind of want to guarantee that when I play a game, it's gonna be fun. And 11 years later, I am still fucking cracked at Black Ops 2 on PC. I still top frag every single game. And bear in mind, that's with servers. The only people who play that game after 11 years are other people like me who have nothing else to do in their life and are just focused on getting better and better at the game. But that is for me, if I want to relax, I don't want to take a risk on like, oh, I bought this new game, I don't know if it's good. No, I want the comfort food. And that's kind of the thought that I have there as well. What do you think about releasing a game on mobile to work out the kinks before Steam? So this is something that works if you have money. Is what it comes down to. If you have money to throw at advertising and at like, because now you need to also have like 20 playtesters, I think, before you can actually submit your game to Steam. Actually, oh, my music stopped. Let me fix that. Oh no, it didn't stop. It's back. You need to have 20 playtesters before you can release your game onto the Play Store. And then the good thing is if you throw like a few $1,000s in advertising, you can get 50,000 users for your game or whatever, which is good. But converting them also isn't as easy. I would say converting them from mobile to PC, because it's a different audience. It works to a certain degree, but also like the style of game and things like that, it's different. Do you guys work on PCs or laptops? I'm working on a laptop completely. Like I have a full desktop setup. Like maybe I can just show you, or yeah, like I'm running on an ultra wide and then I have my laptop on the side of me. I recently updated to this one because I work 100% of laptop. Can I not get the English side for this? No, this is also Dutch. God damn it. I'm just gonna change the URL because this is sad. Laptops for creators, Pro Art. These are expensive laptops, don't get me wrong. This is not, but for me, these are my main workstations. Yeah, Pro Art P16. So this is the one I got. Because I had the previous Pro Art, I made a video about that like 2 years ago, but it was only an RTX 3060. Now I have an RTX 4070. It was kind of becoming a bottleneck. I like this. This is probably the closest laptop I've ever seen come to a MacBook. Because MacBooks, speakers are amazing, display is amazing, trackpad is amazing. Everything is amazing for that. This laptop comes really close to me to feel like a Windows MacBook, like in terms of quality, and it has the performance. The problem is it doesn't come cheap. It's like, I think, 2,000 euros without VAT. So yeah. Can you guys summarize? The game is Dice Legends. Baggertaal ook dat Nederlands, ja. Dice Legends, oh god. This is one of the things that I also, yeah. Let's take a look. I'm not gonna do a full like Steam page roasting thing. Dice Legends, okay, you've got the demo, that's good. Oh. Huh? Is it the, am I? Dice Legends. Where's, did you, why is the demo gone? Is the demo supposed to be gone? It says demo here. But there's no more demo. Are you, Ole, is this supposed to happen? Demo will be released later today. I'm surprised that there's a store entry for it then already. Kinda. I think otherwise, yeah, capsule art. Pretty sure this is AI generated, but like, it's fine. The logo is pretty unique. Screenshots look fine. You have a trailer. It's fine as well. Probably, if you're gonna localize it anyway, localize it to more languages. It's probably the best advice you can have. Oh, will be released later. Okay, oops. I just imagined it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think overall there's nothing horrible with this. Like if there's something wrong with this already, it doesn't matter because it's so deep in. And these specs are unique. I think you're not doing anything horribly wrong. I think it's just too early. Demo is gonna do a lot. So you probably want to expand upon that. Many are often mechanically simple and also socialized. So that's the thing. So there's a viewer in our audience. He made this game, Power Lust. This is a game that was very big on mobile. 1 million downloads, 4.6, 22K reviews almost. So it's like an RPG, and it kind of, the thing with a game like this is like, what's the selling point? It's like Diablo, but mobile. And then the problem is you take Diablo for mobile and you bring it back to a platform where Diablo exists. It gets a bit harder, and also it's a different audience. So this is like, I think if I remember correctly, so this is like free, because you always need to have a free game. Don't ever make a paid game on mobile. It just doesn't work anymore. You need to do things like ads, in-app purchases, whatever. You're not doing upfront costs anymore in today's day and age. So he had like kind of DLC expansion packs as far as I remember. And then basically, if you bought the game fully, then you got all of them for free as well. And it doesn't always convert that well, basically, like going from PC to mobile and all of that. And yeah, like you have, also mobile games are just as often as well. Like if you look at the games, like what are the top performing games? It's all like basically gambling. It's like top grossing. It's like, yeah, this is a gambling game. Casino Adventure, Royal Match is like, yeah, I think this is like, these are not games that would work on PUBG, I guess. But like a lot of these games would not work on PC at all, for example. And it's very different. Like number 24, huge casino slots, Vegas 777. There's a lot of weird things. Have you ever made a mobile game? No, I haven't. And it's probably something I never want to do. Because the thing is, if you go to an event like Gamescom, GDC, whatever, there's always going to be like a sponsor area, right? With like companies that are showcasing different things. Like showcasing their technologies, like Planetary Processing showcases their multiplayer networking, and then Rive showcases their UI design. 80% is focused at mobile games because that's the only place where there's money. Because mobile game is kind of a solved problem. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but hear me out. Mobile gaming has had VCs come in. There's actually a book. I once did a book club on long-term game by here. Look, yeah. There's a book club on this long-term game, how to build a video games company. This is all about mobile game dev, actually. So this is from a guy, he worked at Supercell. He made a whole bunch of mobile games as well. It's just start with $500,000 in VC funding, make a proof of concept in a week, put it on a store page, and then just ads. Look at what is your customer acquisition cost, like how much do I have to spend in ads before is this the brightest? Oh well. How much do I have to spend in ads to get someone to install the game? And then what is my average return on investment? Like how much is the average spend for someone who buys my game? And once you have those two numbers, your return on ad spend and your customer acquisition cost, as long as return on ad spend is higher than customer acquisition cost, you have a license to print money. You just go from spending $1,000 a day on ads to 10,000 because you know that, hey, in a month from now, it's gonna pay off. That's an approach that doesn't work on Steam because like there's not as much lifetime value, there's not as much return on ad spend because Steam games very much are still a one-time payment thing. They're a premium product, but you only buy it once. So at the end of the day, the average earnings per like user, so to say, is much lower on PC compared to mobile, where you have those dedicated whales and all of that. I think if you watch channels like Alex Hormozy, for example, he always talks about all of those things like return on ad spend, customer acquisition cost. That works for mobile. It doesn't work yet for PC. I hope it, I mean, the problem then is you start looking at purely the games that convert. You start looking at what gets the most clicks. And if it is those casino games that are dopamine fed and all of that, well, you're just gonna print more money by throwing more ads at it. But you guys already hate me for not playing enough games and not having a true understanding of gaming. Have a talk with one of those mobile developers. I have. Your soul will leave your body. It sounds so predator. Yeah, absolutely, but it's different audience as well. It's like, so there's this tradition in Belgium when it's the new year that you send like New Year's images, and same with like Christmas and things like that, right? Old people are doomed. Like even my parents are doomed. Everything is AI now. I think it's like my grandma, she sent me like a video of like, oh look, wait, I can probably pull this up. And she's like, wow, they made this really cool video. Let me open my WhatsApp. Yeah, mobile development is a nightmare. I took a good long hard look at it and said, nope. Like the stuff I get from my grandparents makes me cry sometimes because it has music. How do I turn off the music? I want to turn it off. God damn it, shut up. She like sends me this shit and it's like, oh my god, Marnix, look at this, it's so awesome. She doesn't understand that this is AI. She thinks this is real. And if those are they're cooked. They're so fucking cooked. And at some point in the few years, we're gonna be cooked as well because this is so obviously AI, right? They don't care about it on mobile. They don't care about scummy practices because they are literally too brain dead to understand. Like, what is she doing? The letter shape. They are so doomed because they just don't understand what is happening anymore. So it's a different audience. If you pulled that shit, those art on like Steam, everyone would hate you. Yeah, AI game targeted seniors, you're joking, right? But a lot of those games, like those farming sims on mobile, are kind of just aimed at old people, like 40-year-old plus, like Candy Crush. Candy Crush is for 50-year-old or 40-year-old moms at the end of the day. And I think that is also like one of the best, highest performing or like highest earning audiences. Like target audiences is those like a Caucasian style 60-year-olds baby boomer generation that they have shit tons of money, they have their boats, they have because they grew up in a different time where they could just walk in with a firm handshake and get a job and on like one salary, buy a house and have 4 kids and all of that. They have enough money now. They can spend that money on all of those games kinda, and like the Solitaire Grand Harvest. Do you think any young people are playing Solitaire? No, this is a game made for old people. Can confirm mom is in her 50s and plays Candy Crush, yeah. Loved Farmville, also 2 hours in yeah, so I think a lot of times developers forget that there's more than just other 25, 30-year-old guys playing games. She's on level 2,800 something, Jesus. I'm kind of, you know, your parents always were the ones who were like, oh, you shouldn't talk to strangers on the internet and whatever. And now it's sad for them because I can't manage all of their stuff for them. I think my parents have waited a really long time before they made... I don't think my mom plays a lot of mobile games, luckily. Yeah, Balatro is for the young people. Or Balatro, I don't know. But like, yeah, there are definitely games, like, for example, there's this Godot game that I played this for like a while. Usagi Shima Cute Bunny game. It's really cute. It's kind of just like an idler, and then you get bunnies and you make a little island. And what they did is started on Godot, first started on mobile. I think they had a very good pricing model. I think the developer at one point did say that this was unsustainable though. So he is moving to Steam as well at some point, because probably he may have better earnings from Steam. How are they doing wishlist wise? Ooh, Slavi Karaslavov. I am gonna say some hot takes soon. Yeah, 35k wishlist. So this is, I think this is a game that people still care about. On PC, probably this will earn more than mobile, I would guess. So, Road to Vostok, the all-famous game showcasing the power of Godot. Right, like, huzzah. This, okay, look at this. I'm gonna just open a new Steam tab. Holy shit, when did it get this expensive? I feel like I've said this before. But it's like, do they not have like a first person shot? I want just like a... Hello? Are we not doing first person screenshots anymore? Anyways, this game has been like... This is supposed to be the poster child of 3D development in Godot. Road to Vostok. DayZ had this level of graphics, or like an Arma 2 had this level of graphics 10, 15 years ago. I'm sorry, this is cool maybe, but like probably a 16-year-old guy could probably make a better looking game in Unreal in a week with like free assets from Fab. So Road to Vostok, is it a cool thing? Yeah, but like Escape from Tarkov creams performance, or like creams the visuals of Godot. I think another one where people often point at like, oh, look at how great Godot is. And I think this is a better one where it's high poly but stylized still. Exploding Verteidigungskanonkommandant. This looks good. I think this honestly should be a better poster child from Godot, because I think the problem with Road to Vostok is also that it's trying to do something that has already been perfected by the other engines. Like making those super realistic like things. You have a Cry engine, which has been out for so long. I think it's almost deprecated at this point. I think something like this, like, you know, focus on what makes your engine great. People often complain about Unity, about, hey, Unity is so good at making everything that it's kind of hard to make a specific thing. And I think Godot should kind of, like, it's cool because it's open source and like you can make anything. But I think if you're making a game, you're like immediately, okay, visuals first, like my game needs to look beautiful. I think it's kind of not the move to go with anything other than Unreal, for example. The little cat on the armchair in the painting. Are we talking about this? Little cat on the armchair in the painting. Oh, this one. Yeah, Unity is a jack of all trades but a master of none, and the problem for that as well, CG Games, is that it gets really hard for new developers to come in because they have this blank canvas with the default cube, and they're like, what do I do now? Whereas I think even Unreal kind of focuses you more of, hey, if you're making first-person games, third-person games, but like there's people in it, you're kind of easily set up with Unreal, for example. Like, yeah, you can make other games like strategy games, but it's not as much the focus. Whereas in Unity, it's like, whatever the fuck you want, bro. Want to make a 2D game, want to make a visual novel, want to make an FPS, want to make a MOBA, you can do all of it. The problem is because it's so broad, there is a lot more that you need to figure out on, hey, how do these things work? There's like, Unity doesn't guide your hand in how their design works, so to say, how your architecture works. Unreal still very much has a way of how it wants you to do things, because it kind of wants you to follow that. I've never met a person use Unity without building a custom tools. Yeah, but it's good at the end of the day as well. Yeah, you do have the blank template option, of course, CG Games, but it's not like, no one's gonna be like, I'm gonna make a 2D platformer in Unreal, because that's what Unreal is good at. But you can definitely make 2D platformers in Unreal. It just kind of punishes you for doing so. No AAA games. Yeah, I think this is the closest you get to a AAA game, because this is the team behind Dome Keeper. They have a lot of budget. They have a pretty big team at this point as well. And this looks pretty solid as well. I think another problem is that Godot, you often still... Because Godot is still kind of a young engine at the end of the day. Before Godot 4, there were some games made in it. And yeah, you have the... I forgot the name they made. Wrought Flesh. And those were like crazy games to have been made in Godot 3, I think, back then. But like, if this is the stuff, or like, you know, I love to pull Cruelty Squad. If these are like the games that are your best graphical games, Cruelty Squad, honestly, the graphics, the stuff they do with the renderer is kind of nuts. It's just that they took LSD when they made the art for this game. That's kind of the problem as well. Because there's some very cool lighting effects and things like that they do. Like these are Godot games as well. So, in my eyes, it's beautiful. Like the border, you see, it indicates your difficulty. And then yeah, you have your health bar. The sound is just as bad as it looks as well. If you want, this is a great game. This is a game I loved playing as well. Do you make a tier list on specific engines to use for specific genres? I think that was an idea we had. We're planning a tier list for genres for solo developers, I think, is the next one that we're one, or like one of the next one. Yeah, Buckshot Roulette is made in Godot, but like those are not graphically, oh wow, look at this games kind of is the thing. Like, yeah, these are cool, but these are not showcasing what a body cam can do, for example. If you look at like a game like Body Cam, this makes Unreal like stand out so much more, because if you can get this from an engine, like Godot needs to be able to do this to have a chance, basically, of being considered a serious engine for high quality graphics. Like this is already custom stuff in Unreal and well, but it's much more easily done to make one of those body cam style clones. I think it was sober, he's just finished. Yeah, finished game devs are very weird. Can't it get developed until that point? I don't know what you mean. Any good laptop recommendations for secondary machine running Unity? Not very powerful, this PC will still be main machine. Under 850 euros? Just buy whatever the best GPU and CPU combo is you can get, I would say. And buy on like a discount. You probably just want to get like, yeah, you just need a dedicated graphics. Whatever is the best dedicated GPU you can get for that price, just take that. Usually CPUs are powerful enough, it's the graphics. Godot Outskirts. I have not seen Godot Outskirts. What's a key thing you learned from 2024? Ooh, this is a hot one. I talked about it earlier. Oh, should I say it? Yeah, I'll say it. what did I learn in 2024? I learned that YouTube is not as stable and as safe as I thought it was. And that in 2025 we have to focus more on making games, because YouTube so far has been treating us well in making sure we could survive. But the last year, I don't know, the algorithm or whatever has been beating me. Like, especially the second half of the year, I kind of hated my life. And I didn't feel like the content changed. I think the content stayed good or even went better. But views, revenue, just kept dropping. December now has been an okay month, because now suddenly views are up again. I think it's also all of the New Year's resolution. I did look up December. But month over month performance, oh, why is this in Dutch? I hate, my YouTube has been auto defaulting to Dutch lately. I'll pull up my analytics. It's not ideal. Because you can see it's been like going down, 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 down. And then here we had a second wind around like unicycle pizza time and things like that. And then it kept going down, down, down again. Even though like subscribers went up and all of that. And I think what I learned here is that we've been putting too much faith in the YouTube revenue. So yeah, it's like 5K in AdSense. But if you look at, I can't look at 2023, comparing this to 2023, honestly, the second half of 2023 was probably better. Are there any concerns on your end about running out of content ideas? No. Sometimes I feel there's only so much how to. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of why it doesn't matter. 7 game dev time, or was it just games time wastes? I don't know. If I look up, I used the exact same title. Nobody cared about the fact that this was just the same video repackaged. I knew the video performed well the first time, because this was 3K views when we had like 500, 600 subs. It banged again. Nobody knows it, because what a lot of YouTubers forget, and it's something that I also had to learn, is that your audience changes. I think the average viewer, like I know Venkel, for example, you've been with us for a long time, and like I know some of your guys' names as well, like Proxy Duck, you've been here as well for a long time. But a lot of people, they don't watch every video. They only watch a few videos, or they stop watching you after half a year, or they've only been watching you for a few months. And I'm like, oh no, I can't make this video again because this guy from 2 years ago may have seen it and maybe they get angry, but it's like, no, 13,000 people loved the video that I just remade. So I like kinda, it's like same with like how I would do solo development or something. I think that's, if I just look up solo. Yeah, it's like, at the end of the day, these are 3 times the same video, and it's just with like a year of spacing between it. People like this because a lot of people who watch this video don't watch anymore when they watch here, like when they watched half a year later, or a lot of people who watch this, well, they don't care, they don't watch now anymore. Yeah, not everyone's gonna remember a video they saw 1 or 2 years ago. And the second thing that I also realized is that people don't listen the first time you tell them something. You have to yell at them 10 times, make small games, don't forget your marketing, whatever. It's not just one time, oh, guys, you should market your game this way, and everyone is going to perfectly listen to me and stick to that. You kind of just have to get it beat into you every video. I talk about market your game, get your Steam page, whatever, so you remember it. So you actually are like, hey, actually, maybe I should care about this because Marnix has been saying this for the last half fucking year. Why am I not doing my marketing? Yeah. Yeah, reposting is great UX, even if, yeah, so that's kind of what I learned as well. I think also what I enjoy is I still work on the games. And as long as I'm working on the games, there's always new shit I'm learning as well that I can make content about. Speaking of today's video, for example, content. I don't know if the title is clickbait or not, but it's like one of those things where honestly I can't care anymore. This is a video that I could have only started making once I actually spent more time with game development, because in December I did actually kind of one of my best dev months. And that was something that kind of I learned something and I can make a video about that. So you can watch that later. Marketing is the game product you're putting out, though. You have to remember that marketing is not promotion. Yeah, but you also still have to promote, and it's all of those things. Any tips for balancing high school and learning game dev? Phew. Depends on how much time you need for high school. I'm really not the guy to ask, I think. I have a big brain, I'm sorry. I skipped some years in school. I graduated university at age 19, so I don't know if I'm the best person to give you study tips. I think at the end of the day, you're like not even born. Okay, this sounds maybe weird, but I think your life, you can only be like, oh, I've only been doing this for 2 years or whatever. I think if you're doing it in high school, just make games, make prototypes, whatever. Don't focus too much on business and whatever. Get better at making the game itself. Don't worry about the money and all of that as well. You have big brain, but not a programmer? No, instead, you want to know what I was good at instead? Or maybe I still, yeah. I didn't choose to go for programming. Instead, my life was making diagrams like this. VXLAN, EVPN, data center configurations, and then like selling that. So it's other stuff. The games I made in high school were so bad. Yeah, that's the thing. You're kind of like, you're gonna fuck up anyway. Just try and have fun. Don't already pressure like, oh no. Like you have like the Andrew Tates and whatever and the Sigma grind set. Where it's like, oh my god, you're 16 and you don't have a side hustle yet. And it's like, I do like the general mindset of, hey, we gotta give our best, we gotta grind. But at 16, dude, no. You're too young anyway to have a good idea. You have to start, yeah, 18 years old to start most stuff, yeah, and like doing with money and things like that as well. Hola, John, Happy New Year. It's essential to be delusional to motivate yourself enough though. Yeah, maybe. I do also think, by the way, that small scale games are the move. It's what we're gonna be doing for most of 2025 at least. I want to release 4 games at least this year. Thomas also, I think, wants to release at least 3 or 4 games this year before we even consider a bigger game. With like bigger game, we're talking about like half a year of development time and things like that. Yeah. No way I had the discipline to learn and stick with it in high school. Yeah, I had the same. I think I kind of like. There's this channel, Valutainments. These are old guys. I watched them when I was like, what, 16, 15? They have like some of their like, this is like, you know, one of those sales guys. It's like, oh, the rules of money and like how to sell like 7 years ago. Yeah, whatever. I used to watch this guy a lot back then. Like, yeah, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get good at sales and whatever. And it's like, no, dude, you're 16. You just want to play Call of Duty. And it's fine, I think, looking back. MGG included in those games this year? Yeah, but I think we'll do more than 3 and 4. If we only do 3, I'm honestly gonna be kind of disappointed at what we're doing. Only 4 or 5, yeah. I think we need to assume that we're gonna cancel some games as well, guys. We canceled 2 games and we released 1 in 2024. I was trying to make Morrowind when I was 12, render the pyramid and was done. 100 games, that's a lot of games. Are you just gonna shit out AI games then revolver over? Because I think what we have now, I just want to bring it up again. Why do I think small games are good? I got the vision again. Holy shit, Steam sale ended and sales just died. Let's take a look at the last month. This was crazy. Wait, 3.5K? We didn't do anything. We just got covered by some YouTubers and then it was sale time. And we were making like 150 bucks a day. 100, 150, whatever. And we did nothing. So yeah, I think also, Jack, about the only 4 or 5 games, we have some other things we want to do. For example, we're part of the Xbox and PlayStation partner programs now. So also for like 1 or 2 months, probably, I'll just put like Thomas, lock him in a room and be like, port everything to consoles. Wishes are pretty low for both of our other games as well. I think, yeah, lifetime wish list. Yeah, overtime and only 180, 96. I haven't really been caring too much about these. Because I think Magical Girl Guardians, the reason it's low is because it's not our audience, like our YouTube audience. How many was, yeah, so I'm still surprised Forge Industry is still our most outstanding wishlisted game. Sometimes I wonder, like, should I go back to it? But the code is so painfully bad that we can't really do anything for that. Yeah, Unicycle Pizza Time is still doing pretty good. We have a pretty good conversion rate and all of that. Like, Pizza Time was the first good game we made. And I think, yeah, the other guns also. One of the wish lists for Magical Girl Guardians, yeah. But like, we announced it. We never pushed like marketing big yet. I think once we do Next Fest, once we have a demo, Magical Girl Guardians is gonna be sold on the demo. Overtime Anomaly is gonna be sold through YouTubers. Magical Girl Guardians is gonna be sold through the demo and then YouTubers probably playing said demo. I have no resolution. I will finish demo of MySpace Mini MMORPG. Mini MMORPG before April. And then I will make 2 small games before end of year. I feel like you have a resolution if you kind of state all of those things. Just saying. Just quickly finish up my MMO. Yeah, it's a move, I guess. Let's play already. At least some people like the anime girls. We've been doing, I'm not gonna show it to you now, because it's still kind of, we have been listening to you. We have completely been working on redoing our shading, we've baked our lighting. Thomas is gonna do live stream at some point when he decides to actually take this job more serious again, and then he'll probably talk to you more about it. He did, like the good thing is we got a lot of feedback. We've got a lot of shit feedback as well, because there's like, let me get a screenshot quickly of something. Let me see if I can find it, but I don't want to dox the guy's email. Am I gonna find it or did I delete it? Yeah, okay. Give me a second, guys. Or no, actually I can just do this. This is like an email I got 2 days ago. And it's like, yeah, the guys probably mean well, but this shit fucking hurts every time. Where it's just some guy and he's like, terrain sucks, sidewalks suck, your borders suck, your color palette sucks, your foliage sucks. Your water is cool though. Good job on the water. Your enemies suck, your shaders is shit, and it's a bullet hell and it's hard to see bullets. And it's like, yeah, it's good feedback. He's not wrong. I think this delivery is just like, hopefully this is helpful. And it's like, thanks, Timothy. You just ruined my day, but sure, I'll send it to Thomas and he can deal with it. I would not read all that. Yeah, I do. But it's like, and this is, yeah, they emailed me this 2 days ago. 2 days ago, someone woke up and was like, oh, new year, new me, let me write this email to Bite Me Games. And they probably mean well. And it's like, yeah, like the micro splat is something we've been looking into for terrain. Color palette is like harder. Bullets, this has already been implemented, harder to see the bullets. Oh yeah, I'm kind of blocking it, I just realized now. Oh well. But yeah, water is really cool, thanks. Adding bloom to it. We've been working a lot with our shader, so yeah. Unity light baking is a huge serve. It takes a long time. Why does your name have a checkmark, individual kegs? It's because your YouTube channel is big enough. So if your YouTube channel is over a certain amount, you get like highlights in chat. That guy should have run the comment through ChatGPT. ChatGPT, could you phrase this as constructive critique? Yeah. Like, I think once you're over like 40K or something, 40, 50K, you can get the check mark. So yeah, we've been working on Magical Girl Guardians. No, he's not a member. You don't get the check mark for member, you get the check mark for big size, and then member is you get like a cool Bite Me thing. Oh, what did you do? Something I was not ready for when going public with game dev is the people will not with constructive, will just be, this shit is ad style comments. Yeah, at the end of the day, your audience is also gamers, and gamers are kind of toxic, and especially if it's about anime. I think you noticed that as well. It's like, holy shit, I was not ready for this. But then on the other hand, you have games like this now that I see Atlas here. Of course William owns this game. He's not escaping. So this is William. Fun fact. I'm sure he loves the gameplay of this game and nothing else. Just good game loop. It's a good game, guys. Don't worry, the Atlas. It's just, you know, it has a very targeted niche. Another thing that happened, for example, like our audience means well, some of them, is I got a lot of Discord DMs as well, of like, and emails of people like, hey, I am a professional creative director, art director, technical artist, whatever. I want to help you guys for free. But then it's like, oh yeah, but I work in Unreal. I'm like, I'm not sure. And it also, I would rather just still fuck around and find out myself than have to suddenly work with other people. I know this is maybe not the best approach because people are offering you free labor, but nothing is free at the end of the day. I'm gonna be paying for it with something. And the biggest risk that I run into is I don't want to get canceled, because if they work with me and then, I don't know, they suddenly dislike me, it's, yeah. Like the comments that I like, the DMs I get, the comments I get, there's a lot of shit in it as well. Can I find it? No, I think I banned them. Wait, from. Can I not? Why can I not look at the from in Discord anymore? Huh. I wouldn't want to work with a technical artist to use Unreal. I'm not gonna lie. I think the problem is also when we get, because we got like 5 technical artists, let's say, who all DM'd me. Of like, yeah, I can make your game better, this is what I would do. But all 5 of them, they have a different approach. One is like, let's saturate things. The other one is like, let's change the textures to be more flat, so to say. And then it's like, if it was just one guy, I could be like, okay, I like this. But if it's 5 guys with 5 different, oh my God, with 5 different art style ideas, it's like, we could take your thing and we'd probably still get shit on, regardless. Cap Serum, hey Marnix, glad to catch a live stream. Just wanted to thank you again for your try summer call. I am very sorry, Cap. Who are you? Like, okay, that sounds bad. I didn't talk to Cap, I mean. So, do you have a like hint of which person you are exactly? Not that I don't like you. I think at the end of the day, there was also, oh, I don't want to take screenshots. There were also 2 responses to my like, Bite Me Game situation is crazy thing. Like my Bite Me Games is crazy live stream. We had all of the people who were very loud and who had no subscriptions and not anime profile pictures, but like random profile pictures like memes and like dogs and whatever. And they were like, oh my God, this is so bad. And then everyone that I kind of knew or like that had some credibility in game dev or whatever was like, yeah, this is a pretty good like response. You stand by the product, you explain it better, like it's good. So yeah. Did I stop reading? No, I'm just reading a really long book, but I think I haven't updated. Yeah, I don't think, let me quickly update my Goodreads, because I finished this one a long time ago, actually. I'm finished. I finished this. When did I get back from Japan? I think November 14th. Yeah, here you go. This book was about Blizzard. Really good book, really depressing. If you ever feel like, hey, indie development is kind of shit, read this book, and you're gonna be like, you know, indie development is not that bad compared to working at Blizzard. That's my 1-minute review on that. Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. Nowadays, a lot of scammers asking for free keys by buying the YouTube channels. Nowadays, something I noticed well is there are so many AI game review channels. So many of them, like, because I need a lot of B-roll for like my videos, right? And then I try and find like, usually I get the B-roll footage by loaning videos from reviews. So many of them just like either take the gameplay themselves or just take like the trailer and then loop it and then use an AI voice and an AI generated Come on, Premiere, you can do this. This is engaging content. Anyways, they just kind of put it over it. It's just so dog shit. It's like, why is AI like this? Also, my Premiere Pro is truly fucked, I think. Yeah, okay, I'm not showing you anything. Let me pull up my chat again because it left me. Is there any way you would integrate runtime AI in a game? Probably not. I think we have better things to do to make the game stand out than implementing runtime AI. Because runtime AI also is more of a thing if you want to do like dialogue and things. I don't know. We're kind of too shit to do good dialogue right now. Anyways. You can see the gameplay in the trailer at least. Not always. A lot of trailers, honestly, I think are pretty bad at showing gameplay. Or it's like, it cuts too fast to make sense for the B-roll footage of our like videos and whatever. Content doesn't need to be engaging because music is chill anyways. I'm glad you like the music. What's your opinion on Krzyzewski? Do you agree with what he says? Do you have differing thoughts or insights? I've had multiple meetings with him at this point. He wrote an article about us, by the way, if you never knew that. So he... the underwhelming launch. Man, I think we're gonna fight it. Deconstructing the underwhelming launch of an automation builder game. So he made this about us, because he saw the video of how much we made, and he talked about, hey, what did they do wrong? Because this is a crafty buildy game. It's like the best genre you can do, and we still fucked it up. And he was like, okay, how did these guys suck so bad? He has good advice. I think he says the things that nobody wants to hear, but he understands Steam. I had a call with him, I think I had a call with him 13 months ago, I think was the last. No, I've had one with him afterwards. But 13 months ago, I had a call with him, and back then we're still working on Songs of Everjade. Let me pull up Songs of Everjade so you have an idea what because the newer you are. Did he mention it actually did well compared to most first games? I think he said like, hey, we did some good stuff, definitely. Can I still actually see Songs of Everjade? Because we like retired the store page, which is a thing you can do on Steam. Yeah, here like app has been retired. View in beta mode. 2030 we're releasing apparently. And I asked him like, hey, is there a way we can save this game? And he was like, look, I can give you all the store page tips and tricks. You are never gonna sell this game. He said that very bluntly. Do you get your money back from retiring an app? No, not at all. You can't reuse Steam credit, you can't do anything. And I think he was right. I still have my notes from that meeting, actually. Let me see if I can find them. Here. Makes a space. Here, I should have Chrissy. Yeah, so. Like, these were the things that I asked him back then. I asked him, like, hey, how do you ads and whatever? Like, how do you do key email and look? And he's just like, hey, it doesn't work. Don't do it. I asked him, like, little marketing tier list. And then back then I was like, oh, I don't want to make horror games. I don't want to make automation games. And he was like, look, if you don't want to make the games that the market wants you to make, that's your right, but don't expect me to be able to do it. You can't rename it to another game, individual kegs, once the store page has already been live, you start collecting a wish list. Once your store page has been set live, Steam has been starting cracking down on changing name, changing all of that. It used to be more loosey-goosey, whatever, but now they get angry and you have to do support requests, and even then you have to have like, it still has to be the same game. You can't suddenly just reuse the store page in its entirety for something completely else. And he just, what he said, and this was like almost 2 years ago, was make games like what Playway was doing. This was when Playway was still getting started or getting bigger. And he was like, look, if you want to make money, just make Playway games. And I was like, but I don't think it's a thing for the team. And he's like, yeah, but that's not my problem. That's your problem. It's a team leadership management problem. If your audience doesn't want to make, or like if your team doesn't want to make these styles of games, or they don't want to make horror games, that's not his problem, that's my problem, because I got the wrong people. We're talking about my experience with Chrissy. So I think he's a business guy. And I think on camera, you don't always see that as much. On camera, he's like super nice and oh yeah, these are all nice. He very much understands the business of games. And a lot of indie game developers, especially ones who watch Bite Me Games, I think, don't fully understand that, hey, making games is a business for a lot of people. I think there's a difference as well between a Bite Me Games viewer, who's like, oh, more of a hobbyist often, and someone who is actually in the How to Market a Game Discord and reads all of his stuff. These are often, like, they have a small publisher, they're a bit bigger, the people who Chris Zukowski targets. He doesn't target the same people as us, which means that there's a bit of a difference, but overall, the stuff he talks about, I think is really good. Yeah, it's like, yeah, most of these things are pretty good on like the Steam Next Fest, so yeah. Yeah, stop here, is your game bad? That's the best marketing thing. And he was the first person who told me that basically. Like, look, the game sucks. If the game is not what Steam users want, I can't help you. Because you can't sell something people don't want, really. You implicitly admitted that my horror game may have some sales VR. You can have 2 sales. And that's, I think, all you're gonna get. I'm sorry. Happy New Year, Marnix. You roasted the crap out of an early version of my game last year, and I wanted to thank you for the raw feedback on what people took for an indie game. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, guys, and girls, for the, I think, 4.9% female audience we have. I'm gonna share you some links because I need your help. I made an announcement in our Discord server. If you're not in our Discord server yet, you should be. I want your stuff for 2 upcoming videos. First off, I want to start doing more like general, like if I feel like, oh, I want to do a live stream, I want to play your games. And I now have a consolidated Google form. Oh my God, why is this so fucking long? I'll drop it in here. Is it long enough? Yeah. So this is for your prototypes and demos. You can just dump your game or an itch page. It doesn't have to be a Steam page or whatever. Just dump it in here. If you want to, at some point, I can't guarantee you when I'm gonna play it or anything, but I may cover it at some point. You can put like a little text of like, hey, if I do play it, what is something you want me to look for? That's one thing. The second thing that I do want your like, this is the one I care a bit more about, is there's this concept that I want to make the Thomas and Marnix advice show, where we kind of just take your questions, or like, you know, what are some things that you kind of just want to have my advice from, like me and Thomas, just you're like in a specific situation. There's no time limit for the form, especially not the prototypes one. The prototypes one, I think it's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna play 4 city builders now, or I'm gonna play 4 of X game or whatever. That's kind of the idea I had for that. The Thomas and Marnix advice show, I think it's gonna be in like a week. I'm probably going to start looking at what to do exactly in terms of which videos or which questions to cover, because I'm gonna sit down together with Thomas. Oh, the file. What do you mean it doesn't exist? God damn it! Please hold. I'm gonna get the other link. Go to forms. Oh, both those links? Why? Okay, let's try this again. Because I have responses. Okay, so this is the prototypes. And then, does that link work? And then this one is the advice show. Okay, those work, yeah. So you can throw in your stuff in there, or if you have like questions, and then we're gonna go through it. Like the more you can give us for information, the better we can kind of give you an answer. It's something like the Thomas and Marnix helpline, kinda. It's like, yeah, you know those Dave Ramsey shorts where they're like, yeah, I just got like $600,000 from like someone died. What do I do with the money? That's kind of what I want to do as well. Where this one is kinda the approach I want. You should host a live Q&A where you pull people into a call 101 and talk. That is a horrible idea because my God, game developers, our audience is dangerous. Basically, nothing is stopping me, or like nothing is, it's too dangerous almost to not suddenly have a guy go psycho on stream and say some random shit that gets us cancelled. Second link is same as the first. Oh my God. Did I not copy it? Oh my God, I clicked the copy button. Thomas and Marnix advice. Show V2 final. I swear to God, if this one doesn't work either, I'm gonna cry. So yeah, I don't want to do it in a live format. I did consider something that, for example, Rami Ismail does for his newsletters. Like he has the premium consulting. The demos has no deadline. I'm just gonna go through it at certain points. So I'm like, hey, I want to do a live stream. The Thomas and Marnix advice show is do it in like the next 9 days, I would say. You can put that show on the purple platform. Yeah. Marnix crying on stream. I'm not gonna cry. Wait, what did you ask Rajashi Day? Is there a time limit to submit those forms? The prototypes there isn't, like I said, and the Thomas and Marnix advice show we're probably gonna record next weekend. So don't wait too long with those, I would say. You can send multiple questions. What is the update with the game? Everyone liked trailers. So what is the update with the game? You mean like, what's the update with Magical Girl Guardians? We're gonna make it better. Thomas will talk all about it soon. Hey man, in 2025, should I start a simulator game like Supermarket or a party game like Overcooked? Go for the simulator game. It's gonna be much better and much easier to market, and there's gonna be a bigger audience. Yeah, probably don't go for Supermarket though. Go for something a bit more niche. You're gonna have to go more niche at this point than just supermarkets. But I think that is definitely simulator game is the way to go. Oh yeah, I wanted to pull up my stats for all the girls watching audience. We have 4.9, but this is over videos and live streams. 4.9% women, 95% men. If we go to live streams, it goes down to 2.7%. And then 97.3% guys. So it feels like it's me and the boys with this one. Statistically, there should be like what? We have how many? We have 150 people watching, so there should be like 3.5, 4 girls, women in this chat. So maybe checks out. Shout out to the 2.7%. Local party games do better on console. Yeah, 8% female, pretty bad. I'm the half, lol. Yeah, local, but console is harder to do as well. Oh, Denka B, are you the first one? I started the stream and I was like the first guy who posts this resolution is gonna get banned. Yeah, I feel like Amy, Cap Serum, and then Dear Shion, that's like, that's 2.5. Any advice if you're a programmer want to make a game but have no art talent at all? I feel like all assets for graphics won't sell. My friend, are you new here? Are you new here? Wait. All art assets. Where's my video? Where is it? Overtime Anomaly. People love this game. It's all assets. Like the reactions are all like, oh, finally, looks cool. $1 million game. Excited. Tell me more. Looks really cool. This is Hades' office. Ta-da! Oh, Abigail, we're at 3.5. So yeah, this is all just assets. Yeah, what will gameplay like for Overtime Anomaly? It's an Anomaly game, but it's not just a going through the traditional Exit 8 or yeah, like Exit 8. Oh, I don't want a VR. Jesus Christ, give me the regular one, Exit 8. So the idea of a traditional Anomaly game is, okay, I have this hallway, and then if you go to the furthest part, it's like infinitely repeating, or like it repeats 8 times, kind of indicates exit 8, and the number keeps going up. And Anomaly game means it's a detection game. So you're going to walk through this hallway, and if something is different, if something is wrong, like for example, there's suddenly the posters are different, or this guy acts completely different or whatever, then you go back. And because it's like this looping thing, you know, like those staircases that are like infinite or whatever, you go back. And if there's nothing wrong, you go forward. And if you do that 8 times in a row correctly, then you win. Yeah, so it's kind of like a spot the difference game, but in a 3D horror style. And there's like a whole bunch of different things, yeah. I think something similar with Platform 8, where I think it's the train car one, where you have to go through 8 train cars, yeah. And every time you go through a car, you have to look for like something is different. And if there's something different, you go back. If there's nothing wrong, you go forward. It sounds like a really short game, but because you have to do it 8 times, and if you lose 1 time, your progress gets reset, it's okay. For Overtime Anomaly, we want to do more. So for Overtime Anomaly, it's still anomaly spotting, but you're not going through the same hallway. You have your office and you're working overtime, like the name says. So you're alone in the office. My God, the lighting, like, can we just give a shout out to Baked Lighting? So this is the screenshots for the trailer. And this is what it looks like now. I don't know why there's this line. Oh, this is gonna be the UI because I'm running the game. Yeah, this is much more of a vibe, I think. You kind of just have to go through your day. Is this anomaly detectable? No, it's not. Oh, fuck. I always jump scare myself. So you have this clipboard where you have a bunch of tasks, and they will be pre-populated the first days. And it's tasks like, hey, for example, I need to refill the fax machines. And then you need to fill out everything on your task board. Let me open the door. But then at the back, if you turn it around, you can see like there's other things that can go wrong, like object displacement, room alteration, tech support, whatever. Like for example, suddenly the lights are colored or whatever. I think we have some basic ones actually. If I go to Anomaly Manager, can I do an anomaly? I think one is gonna start out of its own. I don't know. Oh no, I think I can just enable them. Or are they? How did they work? There was a way, I forgot. Oh, here, activate. So now, like, normally you're not supposed to see it turn, but it's like, this would be an anomaly. You have to do your job, but then suddenly the room is upside down. And you still have to like plug in your cables and things like that. But if you see this, you have to go to the phone and you have to report the anomaly, basically. And that's kind of how it's different. You have to file the anomalies, and then it goes like 6 days. And then progressively, if you don't do your job correctly and you don't file the anomalies correctly, so here you would call like, hey, what is wrong? Okay, the thing is under than 80 degrees turn, so that would probably be a reality tear. So you report it to the security guard, and then he takes care of it. And then if you ignore the anomalies, then they will get more and more severe more quickly, and you'll just get munched by like entities or whatever. So that's kind of the thing, because I feel like indeed, I think I didn't understand why Exit 8, it felt too simple to me. And I think we are adding something pretty cool. Anything happen if you incorrectly report? Yeah, it's also gonna like make the next anomalies more punishing, and we wanna do multiple endings as well. Because I think horror games are built around the lore, so we wanna do a bit more with that as well. So yeah, I think this definitely can work, but like I said, this is all in asset packs. This whole tangent started with a guy asking, what if I'm only a programmer and I'm not an artist? People love the style of this because what this has is a cohesive art style. That's the big difference. Magical Girl Guardians, I think, looks okay, but has different art styles mixed together, and we didn't have the shading set up and everything so that it looked cohesive. This is all the same asset pack right now. It's only one asset pack, which means that it's gonna be better Yeah, Chilla's art. I didn't know, by the way, I only discovered today that Chilla's art also just makes asset packs. If you really want to recreate their visual style. Like, yeah, here, Chilla's art. Yeah, sound is very important as well. So if you want to just recreate Chilla's art games, you can do so pretty easily. I will use the horror mansion Unity asset. Oh yeah, I think we've had that as well. But at the end of the day, I think, yeah, this one. I don't think we have this one actually. I think, no, we have Horror Hospital or something. Yeah, we don't have this one. But you can do a lot with these kinds of assets. Based on your experience with GPT, what advice would you give to someone recommending a rage game as their next release? You can't guarantee success. But if you get one streamer, one big boy to play your game, you're golden. But if nobody, you can't guarantee that someone's gonna play your game. And if they don't play your game, no one's gonna care about it. I think my favorite example for this, if I go, is there's a game from one of our audiences, or like from one of our viewers, that released kind of similar to us. Here, can I just get the bundle? Okay, we actually did a bundle with them. I hate my legs. And this is kind of like a Jump King. I think this game looks gorgeous. I think this game has everything that on paper should be a good game as well. Because it's like, it looks good. It has that rage game mechanic and all of that. And it's got a good catchy hook. It's like, hey, you're a turtle with legs. It has a good main character. The set design, this is made in Unreal, looks really nice, I think. But nobody ended up playing the game. He said, I know this, like, because I've been talking to the guy a lot. He sent out hundreds of emails and nobody answered. And that's the shit out of luck. Like, I think he had like one small streamer play it, and that's it. And that's the problem. People are like, oh, Northern Lion would love to play Unicycle Pizza Time. He's gonna give you so much coverage. It's like, guys, I've sent multiple emails to Northern Lion. And it's like, yeah, sure, he would love to game me, but there's layers between me and Northern Lion. Yeah, sometimes it's just luck. And I think understanding that, Jonathan, is the most important thing. Another game from our audience is Sending Inferno. And I think in the grand scheme of things, this game, like 100% positive for 43 users, this game had more potential as well. But I think at the end of the day, Unicycle Pizza Time, like I don't know if you were here earlier when I pulled up this graph. You see this spike? This spike is one reason. It's that the fact that here, 1.7 million views, and this was released 2 weeks ago. I didn't email him. I emailed him 3 months ago, basically, when the game came out. No response, nothing. And then suddenly out of nowhere, I woke up one day and people were like, hey, have you looked at, like, did you know Smitty covered you? And I was like, what, no? And yeah, this video made us thousands of dollars probably, because you can see, like, this was 661 in a day, and then the day after 384, 359, and then it kind of stayed pretty high. But you can't guarantee when those content, like those videos come out, because it's not that timed either. They can cover it now, they can cover it in 3 months. So I think that's my bigger tips, is you can have a, because we also often joked about, you know, oh, we'll make a sequel, Wheelchair Pizza Time, right? And we have a subreddit apparently. I didn't know this. And I think one of our viewers was like, okay, fuck it, we'll ball. And they kind of just made their own Unicycle Pizza Time, but with wheelchair, where you control the 2 individual wheels and then you can do the jumps. And this was an idea we actually play tested for a while because we wanted to make a similar style game. Our idea was, I think this setting is more cool. I think ours was like a mix of horror and this, but we couldn't get the gameplay to feel right, so we ended up like canceling it because it was not going anywhere. But I don't know, I think in here as well, like there were also comments of like, oh yeah, you should get You can see this covered by tons of Twitch streamers in the week of release. It's actually not that easy to get them to cover it. It's just sending out a shit ton of emails. And for us, this was the first big English YouTuber as well. And I think it's still one of the biggest English YouTubers that covered us and one of the only ones. We're big in Japan. Japan is our main audience still because for some reason in Japan, we got picked up by content creators, and when you get picked up by one, that's when more people look at those big content creators and are like, hey, I can make similar videos to that one as well. I think it would be a good video for me as well. And then you get a waterfall effect where a lot of influencers, I think I have to look up topic. Do you include like example thumbnails? No, they did all of that themselves. Everyone has their own style of thumbnail as well. Because like here we have another big one, 1.7 million views from like a Japanese one. And this is like super mainstream, Korean 429K. Hey, this is new, Techie Crew. I didn't know it, this one. Actually, I think I know. These were, no, they're not Malaysian.
Sometimes.
Dude, this is so difficult.
Yeah. Like, I never send an email to Techie Crew. So Techie Crew, I think, would be someone who watched Unicycle Pizza Time from Smitty and was like, okay, this is a game we want to do as well. That's my idea. Do you think that you're big in Japan with that game also because the Unicycle Pizza Living kind of thing is kind of an EU vibe? I don't think that matters at all. So yeah. They're high risk, high reward. I think that definitely. There's a lot, if you look at, do I have the Unicycle Pizza Time page open still? No. Well, if you look at like the similar games to Unicycle Pizza Time, like the more like this, it's like Game of Sisyphus performed good, 500 reviews. And like this game also, once again, bone stock. Like this feels like the default textures from Unity, no lighting, whatever. But Northern Lion played it, Ludwig played it, a whole bunch of big streamers played it. So this one did pretty okay. But then where are the other ones? No Corpse Ordeal, 17 user reviews. Fish Hero, 77. A lot of these games are kind of like, maybe they have cool concepts and whatever, but like only Wish, like 30, 14 reviews, 18 reviews. Yeah, Forsen, I've also sent emails to Forsen. But then you also have the, is it Get to Borg? The one that, yeah, that voiced with CDawg VA. This one, they had budget, because one, they got CDawg VA to voice, and two, they have a big YouTube audience as well. I think if you look at this and you don't know the backstory of Isto, they have 110k subs. They made a bunch of videos as well, like 175k, 76k, 204k, because they can use CDawg for narration, for like advertising kinda. It's not a streamer that made it, but it's a streamer, very popular streamer that even played this game, like in CDawg VA. Oh, HRock promoted it as well. Oh, he even funded it. Yeah, this is not your average game studio, I think. This is not what you should look at of like, oh, Get to Work made 1,000 reviews, so I'm gonna do the same. You are not an Isto Inc. That's the thing. Yeah. Also, this game, the Dark Wild, this was also a pretty popular one, like 2 million views. They had the YouTube channel as well. They had the momentum. I've now added contact YouTubers to my to-do list. You really have to do that. Yeah, barely profitable. That's the thing. I had that feeling as well. It also didn't have that many reviews, not reviews, like wish lists before launch, I feel. Because I think at the end of the day, hot take, this is a game that's, as someone with a little bit of experience in the rage game genre at this point, this was not a game that I thought was gonna be good. I looked at this and I thought it was gonna be too crude and too, like, because there's a lot of asset flippy games almost in like, well, they have really weird tagging, that have similar vibes. And this is one of those things that, yeah, is very unique. I had another example. Yeah, so you had You also have Pushing It with Sisyphus, yeah. This is a game that as well, 61 reviews. This game kind of bombed on launch because it didn't have any influencer covering before launch. It took like a month, I think, before Northern Lion covered this. And even then, the conversion rate from a rage game YouTuber to someone actually playing it is, I think, below average compared to a city builder or whatever. Because a lot of people here, they just like watching the content, but not that many are like, yeah, actually, I want to do this as well. Because it's like, it's very fun to watch Kai and IShowSpeed play Chain together. It's actually not that fun to play Chain together yourself, but it's like, it's very much streamer-focused games. Other streamers will buy it. Some people will also play it, but I think a lot of people will actually also just not enjoy losing all of that progress. I don't enjoy losing all of that progress. Like, I think something like a Chain together is just too punishing. I would feel bad making a game like this, I think, because it's killing too much productivity. Is it possible to make a game in 1 to 1.5 years? Yeah, of course, you can make 10 games in that time if you really wanted to. I think you're better off making like 3-4 games in 1.5 years. Watch our videos about like small games, I think. Yeah, make 3 small games rather than 1 big one. Also gives you 3 chances to hit it big instead of just once. Because like there's a lot of these games. Another one is Only Way is Down. And this one is doing pretty okay. I think it has a good setting as well, because you can change the cat chunkiness to Chunkus Maximus. And this is like ragdoll physics, and you have to go down. And I think it has a good hook. What are these screenshots? And I think this was sitting at like 7.5K from sending a demo to YouTubers, which I think is pretty respectable as well. But that's the thing. The only reason it had that many wishlists is because YouTubers. I keep yelling at YouTubers. That's how you market your game. Yeah, 7.5K. It's possible to check how many. Yeah. So it's not a 100% guarantee thing, but this site, Gamealytic, gives you stats. It's also, for example, for games that are already out, you can see it as well. So here, and then this is because I think I have the pro thing. You can even see like where players are from, where wishlists are from once they have enough people as well. But yeah, I think like outstanding wishlists. How accurate is it with your new game? I think there's not enough. Wait, not unicycle. Let's go for overtime anomaly. Hello. Yeah. How much does it say here? I think because it's based on followers as well and like averages. Yeah, it's half off, but it's because it's kind of low, so it's not as accurate. Because this is too small of a sample size, so to say. Because we only have 8 followers, and it calculates it based on total followers because that is a public stat, but wishlist isn't. So for this, it doesn't make sense, but for bigger games, I think it does make sense. Goodbye, Songs of Jade. I gotta go. Can I post a link to my current Kickstarter, which is live now? It's a physical game. So I think you actually will get banned, or your link will get nuked by Streamlabs. Links are disabled. What does followers in Steam even do? I think it comes into your community hub. If indie game live and die by streamers' mercy, how do you decide early on which games are even worth working on? This is the hot take. It's like you just have to make a game that you can see other people play. Like I think Overtime Anomaly was a game that we could see people were going to play this, like a market, like a Jacksepticeye or whatever. Whereas with our Skogfo, it was a much harder one. I think I talk about it in one of my recent videos as well. I'll keep pulling up the recent videos. There's this one. I review our reviewers' games marketing emails. At the end of the day, the games you're making, if you're going that approach of I want to focus on the content creators as well, is you have to remember that it's an exchange. You're giving them views, and in exchange they're giving you wish lists or sales and whatever. You are not entitled to those for free. You have to make sure that what you're making, the game you're making, is going to be something that will get views, almost. Does it make sense? So, I know, this is the stuff, if I say this, people are like, oh my god, just make the game you want to make. And sure, you can do that, but then you get games like The Last Drop that no streamer wants to play this because this is not going to be engaging content, kinda. That's the problem you're dealing with. Yeah, you can definitely get started with the first games you make for you, but the first games you make for you also shouldn't expect to make money from. Yeah, this Eric Barone from Stardew Valley did, but it's kind of, yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that one about Everholm. It was kind of a weird one as well. H2P Guccio. Oh yeah. Hi, Hoshizora. Goedenavond. Got any good game ideas for someone? Oh my god, YouTube is being annoying. I can't. Okay. Who can make tons of 3D assets but doesn't have programming skills. Whatever you do, don't do this. I can tell you. I think this was a bad idea. Like one of these room decoration things. I think genuinely this is not gonna be good advice. Like it's gonna be good advice, probably not what you want to hear. Just make asset packs. It's gonna probably earn you more 3D, good quality 3D asset packs and like styles that people want, like fantasy and whatever. It's gonna make you more probably than making the game yourself. If you can't do programming, but you can do art, horror games probably would be it, because horror games are very simple at the end of the day. Making horror games in settings that are hard to do. Oh, but I think you did like low poly stylized, right? Let me check. I know, PBR stylized, fantasy stylized, yeah. Because now you're cutting, make a cozy game, probably. You don't need to have crazy complicated mechanics. You're gonna have to write some code. But probably you will need to do something. Yeah. Yeah, but the horror games don't make sense when this is your art style, I think, because this is not scary, really. Because you don't want to stylize, you just want to then go for like the very rough PS1 style, or go for the high, really realistic one. Need to be making games you want to make and streamers want to play. Yeah, indeed. Maybe escape room ones. Cube worlds with hidden object is such a meh genre though. Yeah, what do you make? I think you can still make something. It's something actually, I'm not gonna leak too much, but I'm making a game on myself. Alright, okay. I'm making something in Unity all by myself. I haven't programmed in years, basically. I didn't touch any of the code for the other games we made. You can do a shit ton, I've learned, with ChatGPT and just asking it, hey, how do I do this in Unity? Yeah, Tiny Glade, but Tiny Glade is also custom rendering and all of that. Idle Clicker. The problem with Idle Clicker then is that it's a genre that earns so little. Yeah, Yoni is also an artist, like knows more about artists. General cozy games probably are your best style for like, there's so many life sims. Life sim genre I can find. No, but so it's cozy. Can I just go for a cozy tag? Yeah. There's a lot of like cozy 3D, like build a little city. I think like games like, for example, but Monterona also I think kind of has some more complex stuff, where it's just like, hey, build little cozy city, and that's it. And I think this is like something that I think these guys did really well marketing wise. It's kind of Tiny Glade, but Italy. You make a little city and you can walk around in the city. And let's take a look I'm making a game inspired by a graveyard scene with identical systems, but I'm not sure how to meet the management systems. Is that recommended for a beginner? Graveyard Keeper. I think I remember. No, it's Moonlighter that I'm thinking about. Yeah, I'm not sure. Graveyard Keeper. You're making it in 3D, I remember, right? I think if you're making it in 3D, don't worry too much about the mechanics. You're gonna have to do mechanics, but I'm not the guy for architecture at all. How is it different from Decorate a Room? It's different. Hard to explain. Wait, let's take a look. Make room. And a lot of these wish lists come from the fact that he's Kenny. Yeah, I think it's because there's a lot of these games like Unpacking. What's the other one? God damn it. Oh, Monte Roma. Oh, 21k. I expected more. For the amount of stuff that I've seen it, yeah. Yeah, Tiny Glade and Townscaper, they're pretty like graphic intensive as well, like graphics programming. Instead of unpacking to the game packing. I think honestly, the best thing you can do is find a programmer for you. If you have good art, you can find programmers who are very willing to work for you for free, I think. I often compare this a bit to the dating pool. If you know, like on Tinder, it's not equal, 50% women, 50% men, and then it all works out perfectly. No, it's like 80% programmers, and then 10% artists who think they can do art, they can just draw, but it's not game art, and then 10% people who can actually make good art. And because of that imbalance, there are so many programmers who would probably kill to have your art, like access to your art, work on a game. And they'll be like, yes, I'll bow down to you, I'll make whatever you want. Just let me work on something that looks pretty for once. I think Bridges and Docks is actually kind of the opposite, where it's a programmer first who has a decent understanding, but not a perfect one, about art. I think because this is still more of a code game than it is a visual, or like an art game, so to say. Yeah, like games like Unpacking, the problem is there's a lot of games like Unpacking. Yeah, We Who Are About to Die is mainly an artist. Yeah, I think combat, like action roguelites, like action games, if you're really good at art, probably would be a good one. Something like, you know, let's say Tunic, maybe. I haven't played Tunic, I'm sorry. But I feel like, you know, not the most mechanically complex, but this game I think is more sold on the visuals. Add a fox to your game and your game's gonna be a banger for some reason. I think these could be good ones as well, action roguelites and things like that. I want to make a few games solo first and learn programming as well, but yeah. Yeah, Death's Door is the other one. I was like, should I pull up Death's Door or Tunic? Both of them are like art first and then good combat flow, but not like crazy, I would say. But definitely like the art is really good, the level design, things like that. Tunic has much more, yeah. Yeah, I know Tunic also has the whole story and the word thing on it as well. I've listened to like 3 podcasts about Tunic's development with the developer, and I've never played it, so that's where I get my intel from. Yeah, they even have a bundle. Sound, I think sound is not gonna sell the game, but sound is very important. I do agree with that. I think sound is an easy win that a lot of developers don't even try to get the easy win part. Like, it's very low-hanging fruit, but a lot of people don't even see that there's fruit to pick, and they just make it horrible. Also, I'm surprised by how many people are watching, because normally when I do these styles of streams, I get like 100, and now I've been at 150 concurrents the entire time, which, hey, thanks by the way, guys, for tuning in. Would you rather be a good artist and make a game, or be a good dev and make a game? A good artist, 10 out of 10 days. No, 7 out of 7 days of the week. I think your life is just easier if you're the good artist first, programmer second. Maze escape games. Like horror game? Or what do you mean maze escape games? I'm looking into a round-based survival shooter like Zombies, but outside of Skur, I don't really know any games. Oh, there are some. Is it Back for Blood? I think it's Back for Blood. Oh no, this was Left 4 Dead. Yeah, kinda similar.
Got your back.
Oh, I'm hearing the trailer, that's why. I was like, what am I hearing? There's a few games kind of like it. I looked at it once. One from, oh, I forgot the name. There's some games from our audience as well, trying to make one. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you. Yeah. Is your time for stream? I'm in CSTs. Yeah. Easier to teach program to an artist than art to a programmer. That as well. Thomas was... So we were working on the rework of the shading and lighting for Magical Gold Guardians. And Thomas was like really proud. He was like, look at what I did. I baked the lighting and things like that. I was like, yeah, I think it looks really good now. I'm like, Thomas, there's no shadows. What are you talking about? And he was like, oh, I didn't notice. Shows how good of an artist I am. And I was like, oh God, we're doomed. He didn't... our characters just didn't have shadows anymore because the shader didn't support it to have like baked shadows for it. And he didn't notice. He was looking at it for like 6 hours and he was like, yeah, this looks really good. We're using URP. Yeah, it was a problem. We were using the Liltoon shader, but Liltoon doesn't support baked shadows, so we had to switch to RealToon. It's solved by now. Yeah, Thomas was live this morning reviewing games, and Art 100% sells games and markets itself much better. A game called Constance. It sounds like a horror game. I think I've seen it pass by once. Okay, there's a lot of Constances. Oh. Really? Is this the game they're hyped about? Do you know much about Poke? Pokimane? Sometimes. I'm tier 3 sub. I guess you're talking about the other Poke. Basically Poke, for those who don't know, is kind of like an alternative to Crazy Games. Poke Dev. So it's like one of those web platforms. I know of Poke. I do have a brand relationship with Crazy Games. So it's like Poke also reached out to us with like, hey, we want to sponsor you as well. But I'm like, look, Crazy Games has been really nice to me. I think Crazy Games as a platform is pretty good. Poke is, I think, from what I can tell, also a solid approach. At the end of the day, you can release on both Poke and Crazy Games. Don't tell this to Crazy Games. But I think, yeah, let the platforms work for you. Super simple game, super simple, gorgeous. Yeah. For a certain audience. Oh, they've gone to Gamescom? Damn. Yeah, they have budget, guys. You don't have that budget. This is 7K, at least, that they spent. Hello, Hugo. El Hugo. 100K wishlists, damn. But yeah, because they've gone to... Oh, yeah. This is 3 times front page coverage on Steam as well. They have the devs in the arena, Yeah, okay, 20 people studio. Yeah, art first. I think this is a much better game visually, honestly, than Constance, just because it's 3D as well. But yeah, all of their games are visually really solid. Yeah, I think you're kind of coping if you think that this is the game that you're going to be making, because I think this is not the scale that you guys are at. What is a Kix? QIX. Trying to find someone from start to finish making game assets has been a challenge. Yeah. One of the things that I kind of want to do in 2025 as like my New Year's resolution, but it's something like I want to learn how to make like PBR style assets, like just like make a traffic cone or whatever, nothing crazy, but just learn something. I think like get a little bit of Substance Painter in. Ideally, like that would be one of the things that I want to do, but it's like there's no pressure for me to do that anytime. We're using Unity 6 for all of our new games now, so yeah. Because yeah, making assets, I'm never gonna make good assets, I think, but it's something where I kind of got lost in the flow of, oh, I'm gonna play this game, I can tell you that this year. With Doom Dark, when does it come out? I'm gonna need to schedule, oh, no date yet. I'm gonna need to schedule 2 weeks of videos in advance because I'll be gone once this game comes out. I think of adventure walking sim as a 3D artist all around dev for first game. Aren't you making the game similar to Graveyard Keeper or whatever was it? Are you changing this quickly? I think adventure walking sims, isn't that kind of what Eastshade did as well? Like artists turned indie. I don't know how good a game like this would sell in 2025, but like this definitely worked. Seeing a game someone made like that about taking pictures, you mean Viewfinder? Because Viewfinder is more than that. Viewfinder is like a puzzle game where the pictures are part of, like you have to use your camera to solve the puzzles as well. Let's see, what did they do again? Yeah, you take a picture and then you can like extend the tile if you line it up. Yeah, like kind of trippy. This is like crazy programming, I think. This is not what you can do as an artist only. No, it was Eaststage, you were the one I was thinking about. Yeah. Oh yeah, so painting. Yeah. But like a game like this, it's open world as well. This wasn't easy. It paid off for them big time. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, I make game, and ta-da, they made a whole video about how they made this game and things like that. Oh, what's the Chance of Sonar? No, it's the other one. It's not Chance of Sonar. There's a game that's also like using the Möbius style rendering. Am I gonna find it? No way I'm gonna find it. No. Yeah, no, I have no idea. Like this is a very, well, I'm late, got used. Yeah, Schmiggy, I was like, I'm just gonna start because I was like, no point in chilling around before. I have no idea what, oh, Sable, that's it, yeah. Sable was the one I was looking for. I guess you mean something, yeah, I spent 5 years on Eastshade, not Evershade. Yeah, Firewatch and whatever, but it's like, guys, do you really think you can make Firewatch art, like, because, like, yeah, sure, you have, like, there's this asset as well on the asset store that I was, like, looking at, because sometimes what I like to do is I just look at the asset store and I'm like, could I make a video, like, could I make a game about this? And it's like, yeah, you have, like, the Firewatch environment, and it's like, yeah, this looks pretty as well. Like, the artist, like, this publisher is hit or miss, actually. In the quality of their assets, because I've had some good assets from them, I've had some bad assets from them, but like taking this and making a game from it is still very much not easy. I can't do art, but Cinti fixed that. Yeah, but then you have to go hard on mechanics. The amount of assets I have in no games is made is disgusting. But sometimes the deals are just too good, and sometimes you have a Unity, like a Humble Bundle, and it's like, ooh, I want that. Sometimes the Humble Bundles are also kind of ass, but I've picked up a lot of them myself as well. Pro game developers, yeah, Campo Santo took super long as well to make. The Dreamscape assets, yeah. But then the problem is, often an asset pack, Before we canceled Skogfall and we're like, okay, what do we do next? And we kind of then did basically, am I gonna find it? Thomas was like, oh, I really like this asset. Maybe we can make a game about it. I think it was from, yeah, it was this one, Polyart. We're like, oh, this is a really pretty game. We could probably make a cool video, or not a cool video, a cool game with it. But the problem we ran into is, okay, we looked at it, we like did through the demo, and it's like, yeah, if we could make a game with this, it would be sweet. But the asset itself is too empty, and then you suddenly have to add like characters probably. And getting characters, we realized we could not find characters that would match this art style. And because of that, we kind of just scrapped that idea to begin with, because we knew we couldn't make it work, because this is such a specific stylized version of art already, that we couldn't really find like characters to walk around or more props or something that would perfectly fit this. And yeah, you can throw a toon shader on it, but then you kind of lose the quality of this asset. Looks really fucking beautiful, but you'll lose that if you throw a toon shader over it often. MK toon, we're using real toon now. I picked it up a few days ago. This one also suits pretty good, and this supported the stylizing. Easier to make 3D art than 2D art. It's also easier to do stuff with the 3D art. Like, I'd say there's always like animating things is much easier. You know, if videos making 3D animation, I'm gonna let me leak some stuff. Actually, I don't know. Should I care? I'm not gonna take them up, I think, anyway. Let me quickly take a screenshot and then let's. I wanna hide this. I mean, that should be fine, honestly. But whatever. Meshi wanted to sponsor us for a video. Meshi is like the AI to 3D model from text, but I kind of don't want to take this back right now, so I'm not going to. People swear by it, other people hate it. I think for me as a content creator, it's dangerous to take a stance on this. Rodin is better. It is weak AF. Yeah, I haven't had amazing results when I looked into this as well. So we're not gonna take it, but yeah. Man, you guys are crazy. 2D is vastly easier. Now you can make a 2D character in Ace, yeah, but then you want to animate said 2D character to have an attack animation and to walk up and down and left and right and whatever. And then it gets more tricky because you have to, or like you want to do, oh, I want to put a hat on my character. Making all of that scalable is much harder than just taking a humanoid rig and then throwing an animation on that. Yeah, Enhanced Studio would fit that asset back. That's what we looked at as well. If we're gonna take it, we would take it, but we still didn't think that, like these humans, they just looked kind of shit. Or not like shit, but they look different. I wasn't happy with the quality of these, and I don't think it would have been a good fit. Yeah, animation for 2D is kind of it. I've done all of that in an hour. Well, then you're doing good, I guess. Yeah, 3D, maybe it's gonna be usable soon, but it's not there yet. The problem is that they have the most money right now. It's like the new crypto, AI. Everything is venture VC fund, and they're like, let's just throw AI in our engine, and now you can sponsor us. How long do you guys think the NVIDIA tool? I don't know. Like, I have an NVIDIA thing on this, like this laptop, one of the selling points. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's like, oh yeah, there's built-in AI. Was it in here? I swear it used to be, yeah, it's like Creative Land. And it's like, oh yeah, this came free with Muse Tree. And it's like, I don't want this. Because I think this just looks shit. This AI gen. NVIDIA Mesh Chrome. Yeah. It's probably gonna come sooner rather than later. Making it look great, I don't know when it's gonna happen. And also, I don't want to spend 20... What was it? The RTX 5090 is like rumored to be 2.5K or something. It's some ridiculous number. I don't want to know how much it costs for a GPU at this point. Yeah, it's 2,600 in the US. Something like that. It's like, who wants to buy that shit? That's more than my laptop and just the GPU. Yeah, I think rebuild it yourself, because then also I think you have to do like re-deposit. It's gonna be 5K in the EU. Yeah, it's gonna be miserable. Like GPU prices are so sad here. Like I haven't had to buy anytime. Can I change the language? No. Oh well. Oh, the Mac Mini is kind of cheap though. I've been considering getting a Mac Mini for the company just so we can do more, so we can develop again for it. Because we have one Mac Mini now, but it's like our build server. Because our Mac dev kind of stopped hardware. Where's my graphics cards? Wow, this is a... I haven't had to buy a PC in a long time. Give me an NVIDIA 40... Why do you have so many options? God damn it. I bought a 4070, sure. How much does a 4070 cost nowadays? Do they start at 600 euros? Oh my god, let me quickly go through my email. Oh, I'm not... No, never mind. I think I bought a Zotac RTX 3070 the day it came out for like 380. Why did they get so goddamn expensive? I don't want to spend this much money on GPUs. I have a 4070 in my laptop. Sure, it's like not as powerful, but it's only 3 times the price, and I have a 4K OLED, like color calibrated touchscreen with it. So yeah, EU prices make me cry. I was gonna check, are there any good deals? We got the ultimate, I think, is this one from like Leartes? What are the bundles they have? That's like, oh, but these are also not 106 items in bundle. Also, since when did Humble Bundle change it so their like cheapest tier isn't $1 anymore? I kind of miss it. Because it's like a lot of these things are kind of just also bad, or it's like only for Unreal or only for Unity and whatever. Yeah, AI doesn't buy the same GPUs consumers do, but they use it. They use AI does consume the same like production space. Like they can choose to use the foundry for like the CPU chip factory basically for either the hella expensive Quadro cards or for the less margin gaming cards. And yeah, at that point you probably want to get more of the Quadro cards from your CPUs and your SoCs. GPUs, well, technically. Yeah. Hey, you can make Squirrel with a Gun #2, the sequel. Yeah, this is like fab. I guess this is what I don't like. It's like mixing Unity. Okay, no, in this case it's both, but sometimes they also just mix Unity and Unreal, and some assets are only for Unreal and some assets are only for Unity. And then some of the asset vendors they use are kind of meh as well, like the files are kind of shit. I like the Synthi ones. The Synthi packs are good. I like to pick up music packs. But a lot of these assets I don't really... Oh no, I already did this one. What was the other one? I clicked it open already. Yeah. They're not engine locked. Some, yeah, but some of them are just bad to import. That's the problem I had with the Leartes one, for example. Hey, is this another bundle? No, I am looking at the same bundle. Never mind. But like, this is the same artist, no? Because it uses the same style. Right, am I going crazy? I am going crazy, never mind. Yeah. Like for example, like the latest one, like it was one of these, but it was so miserably optimized for Unreal, for Unity that you basically couldn't run it. Yeah, usually I get like bundles are pretty nice, but often they're not fully worth it. Like you also have to look at the bundles and be like, is there something I can use from here that I assume is gonna be good? Because it's like, do I really want Arachnid Boss? And it's like, is this worth $40 to begin with? Yeah. Which music assets do you prefer? I like the stuff from Ulvani. And I honestly, I'm gonna open this in a private window just to be safe. I think Itch has become recently my favorite place for finding music. Because there's a lot of like very more niche music you can find on Itch, for example, where maybe you pay like $2 for it, but it's like one specific instrument in one specific style that 100% fits what you need. Whereas the Ovani is more like, oh, I need fantasy music or I need desert music or whatever, but it's not as specific in depth. And I also don't like the files 100% that they give. Because if I go to like game assets and then you go for like sound, no, music, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can get here for like pretty, like you have to sift through it. There's a lot of garbage as well. And now especially, I hate it. A bunch of this stuff is also AI generated with Suno AI. And it's like, oh, I hate this. And then they don't disclose it. And it's like a whole mess. But I found a lot of cool stuff on here as well. The problem now is definitely filtering out what is actual good stuff and what is just AI garbage, kinda. I've had also for like UIs, I like Itch as well. I think a lot of people only think about like Fab and the Unity Asset Store for assets. There is a lot you can do with the itch.io like UI as well. I feel like I'm not gonna get both music and UI, or no. Yeah, how do I get rid of one of my tags? I have no idea. Just gonna change the URL. Ta-da. There's a lot of like, especially if you want to make pixel art stuff, always go for itch.io instead of the Unity Asset Store. I just purchased Unicycle Pizza Time. I want to thank you for sharing your game dev experience and perspective. Don't thank us yet. Play the game first, and then you'll be like, oh my god. I've never actually tried assets from Itch. Yeah, I've so far always been happy with them. We haven't bought crazy high amounts of assets from them. Or like, for example, I picked up I think one of my favorite assets is like, this one was free as well once. That's when I picked it up, but like things like this, like input icons. This is what we use in all of our games. Wait, where is it? What, like the control, yeah, input prompts, but then not the pixel one. I mean, we've used the pixel one as well. He has a lot of good stuff, Kenny. For like his input prompts, we use him. For cursors, we use his cursors actually as well. Like this cursor is the one we use in Unicycle Pizza Time. I like these. I don't like his 3D style. I think his 2D generally definitely does work. Yeah, finding decent music can be, yeah. Often you do get like what is it, like a SoundCloud link or whatever that you can listen to it. And then you just pick up like one of those like UI sounds, whatever, and then you throw stuff together in Audacity. Do you also find your stream music from these places? So, should I? I shouldn't. My stream music usually it's not now, but what I use for stream music normally is Artlist. Oh, I need to log in. This is the wrong tab. Artlist. But I used to say like, oh, use them for your game as well. I've actually, they're not really friendly to game devs, but these are good for YouTube content and things like that. We use Artlist music. I like how you can look at like, I want Doom music, and then they give you a bunch of that, or like I want lo-fi music or whatever. Stream music is lo-fi live on YouTube. Yeah, but you often get copyright claims still, even if it says like no copyright. And with Artlist, I know 100% not getting any copyright strikes. So that's what I use for my stream mainly. I just put it on normally. Because I do want the, I think if, let's go to YouTube. I think a lot of my streams, or like some of them, they have been content claimed even if, how was our today's video? Oof, 8 out of 10. Oh, well, I think it's fine. I didn't expect this one to do great because it's, yeah, I didn't know. Anyways, I got sidetracked. A lot of this is like, oh, no, because one trick, if I do like, for example, I look at Steam page or whatever, if one person who submits a Steam page, for example, has copyrighted music, it's like, yeah, not done. This one also, I use like a 3-hour playlist of like no copyright, and it's like, yep, nope, get fucked. I think it's like here. It's like all of these suddenly is like, oh yeah, no, the money goes to someone else. And it's like, yeah. So I don't want to risk it there. YouTube's just mute the audio part. That's the thing, I can do it. And sometimes I do it if it's like one song. But the problem is you can't do it in bulk. So if I am like, okay, I want to get rid of it, there's actually 2 issues. First thing is kind of annoying. I can like, hey, select action, and then I can choose like replace the music or just remove the music in general, but keep the sound. That's nice. The problem is if you do the post-processing, or like not post-processing, but if you edit it, you lose chat. So that's like, you have the chat on screen here now above me, but you also have the YouTube one at the side. That is gone, and you can't enable it again if you remove the audio from a thing. Like the moment you do any changes to your stream, any changes to that, you lose the side chat, and it's kind of annoying because a lot of people love that. Even though like the length of the video doesn't change, the moment you do any edits, it's gone. And it's kind of annoying. So I've been trying YouTube doesn't suck. You just have to, these are things you get aware of it. You get better at learning how these things work. I'm not gonna complain about it. Like, yeah. I think especially the problem is that lo-fi is almost so similar. Like similar in terms of it's very easy to get false claims because the music isn't super unique all of the time. Like I can't always hear a difference between like a whole bunch of lo-fi songs, and especially with Suno AI just shitting out AI generated lo-fi music as well. It's kind of weird. Random question, what do you think is an okay return rate for a game? I guess with return you mean refunds? 18% if it's your first game, 15% ideally for other games. That's ideal. That's normal, I would say. We have more for Unicycle Pizza Time. We have a lot more. I think it's fine though because of the style of game it is. It's a rage game at the end of the day. If it's return, I think return in this case means return of like refunds. Please elaborate, Yoni. If it's a return on investment, it's like, yeah, 10x would be ideal. But I think that's hard to plan. Let's go and take a look at packages. We're at like 25% for yeah, refunds. I'll pull up Forge Industry as well. I think Forge Industry is still relatively high, but not as bad. Oh, damn, yeah. Recent mode at lifetime. Let's give lifetime. Yeah, 16%. This is normal, I would say. I'm actually surprised it's this low, almost. Unicycle Pizza Time is high, but I think that's, yeah, like, so lifetime, is 25%, but it's better. Like lifetime was also the first month. We didn't have checkpoints in the beginning and things like that. It's still relatively high. This is not like panic mode. We've done what we can do. I think it's just accepting that, hey, these games are not for everyone. If you don't get unicycle pizza time in the first 30 minutes, you're not gonna like it. If you don't want to do it first, yeah. The first not fun that comes in hits through, yeah. I don't mind about the refunds, honestly. It's more about the reviews that I care about. Also, PrisCon, if a game is 1 hour long, with stopping everyone from completing it and then refunding it, the fact that people generally aren't that much assholes. You'll always have some people who try and abuse the refund system. But I think if you're gonna be worried about that and you're like, oh no, I need to artificially stretch my game to be 3 hours long so people can't refund it, it's gonna be worse. Is there much of a link between pricing and refunds? Not that I know of, yeah. 5% is low, 5% is below, like very good. 15% is what I would call average. And then, yeah, this is not good, but I think this is just the style of game. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, too clunky. It's like, it is supposed to be. I've played it for 5 minutes, don't even want to play anymore. First checkpoint. Not checkpoints don't work on multiplayer. Like some of these things, like we've looked at. Like some of the things you have to learn or like read. Damn, there's a lot of Koreans who do not like this. Horrible game, couldn't play with friends. Yeah, like we had some stuff. Controls are atrocious, but like I know the controls aren't atrocious. At the end of the day, there's a lot of these things that are like skill issues. I think the more important things is like, but like gameplay crash is often also like we don't get anything our Unity analytics. So at that point, it's like Windows stuff, and it's like, yeah, you can't debug for those things. I mainly look at reviews. Yeah, if you look at like most recent week, it's like 18% to like 21 is like including payment issues, whatever. You look at this number, mainly the bottom one, or I say that to make myself more happy. So yeah, that's kinda, don't sweat it. As long as you're not 25%, should be fine. It's some funny ones like oops, bought 2 times, yeah. So you can do these things as well. I don't really read these. The refund data is something that I don't really dive in that much because at this point the game is out. There's no changes. We've done the important stuff we wanted to do. So yeah, any other questions? Any other things you want to cover? Or I guess not. Have you learned about post-processing? I have. I have done a lot of post-processing at this point, and lighting. Am I great at it? No. Will Magical Girl Guardians have a demo? It will. Of course, we're joining Steam Next Fest as well with Magical Girl Guardians. The game that you're making, is it owned by ByteMe? Yes, it is. Everything we make. This was one of the things when we first started the company. I was very much like, no, I want to have part of it myself. Looking back, I don't really give a fuck. I think I was just being annoying for no reason. Anything we make is technically IP from ByteMe, and I don't own anything of it. The thing is, I own ByteMe, so it's fine by me. Magical Girl Guardians, like I said, will have a demo because we're participating in Steam Next Fest. I think the main question is, what are we going to do with the demo? What are we not going to do? Are we going to have multiplayer? Are we not going to have multiplayer? Yeah. Because like I was looking, because at this point when I start a new project, I immediately turn on all of the post-processing, and like day one I want to make it look as good as possible. And now I'm like, sometimes I do wonder when I look back at Forge Industry, it's like, if I just open this again, how much better could I make it look in like an hour? Because I feel like at this point I could make it look better, because this is zero post-processing basically. But then on the other hand, it's like, this code is so cursed. Everything is cursed here. Bite Me Games is not an LLC. We are a VOF, which is a Belgian thing. It's not ideal, but starting an LLC is not as cheap in Belgium as it is in like the US and whatever. You need to have like your business plan, like attorney reviewed and all of that. And it costs money, so we went for something else that maybe isn't as good, but it was because when we started Bite Me Games, we didn't know what it was going to be. We didn't know how big it was going to be, how small it was going to be. I'd love to watch you do it in the stream, to be honest, very chill, but also not worth spending the time on. I don't know if it's not worth spending the time on. The thing is, post-processing is only a small issue. It's also like the models, the ground textures. And that's the thing, it's like, yeah, I could make it a bit better, but it would be like slapping a band-aid on. It wouldn't make it great. And one of the things that we've been considering as like, we talk about this is like, oh, is this gonna be our New Year's resolution? It's like, once we've made a bunch of small games, we're like considering, should we make Forge Industry 2? Because we know that this game worked, this concept worked, people liked the idea of this game. Factorio, but no fucking conveyor belts. But we dropped the ball on a lot of aspects, and because of that, the UI was horrible, the UX was even worse, the graphics weren't there, and worst of all, I talked about it in the video of today, the content wasn't interesting enough. And it's like, we know now what does work, what doesn't work, and it's like, do we make Forge Industry 2, but probably not call it Forge Industry 2, but do like a reboot, so to say, call it like Forge Master or whatever, just to give it a silly name. I think it would still work. I think this is a genre that for foreseeable future, automation games, big demand for. Yeah, it's a buildy type game at the end of the day. We wouldn't do, for example, what would we change? We wouldn't do procedurally generated worlds. We wouldn't do try multiplayer, or maybe we would try multiplayer and have it from day zero in the game. That could be another thing as well. There's a lot of things I think we can improve about the game. I also wanted to more of a factory town vibe of controls, but we dropped the ball on that. Probably you want to add magic as well, because there's only so much you can do with it. Like, I like here, I think how they assign workers is so sweet, but we just didn't have the Unity knowledge back then. Like, you see how they draw the lines like this? We wanted this. We tried to make this, but we just sucked the balls at Unity back then, because it was the first time ever that we touched Unity. So we couldn't implement this. So we had that UI, and it's clunky, and it's a lot of clicks, and that's kind of the problem. We wanted this. Drag between the stops, and you're done. Forge Industry in VR. That's the worst idea, I think. Yeah, Reforged Industry something. I've never followed advice from Thomas Brush because I never watched him before I started YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people I've heard talk about Oddsparks on how they're kind of the better version of Forge Industry. I don't feel like it's the same entirely. I think it's still very much a different game, Oddsparks and Forge Industry. But yeah, I have also not played Oddsparks, but I've looked at a bunch of like reviews, let's plays of it. I don't feel like it's a full game. Thomas Brush, by the way, he ignores me every time. I'm like, I drop in his YouTube chat and I try to say something. He just reads post my message. So I'm like, okay. He also never responds to our emails. So yeah. Too life bad, too sad or something. I don't know. His art style is pretty good for Twisted Tower. Question is just when will it release? The thing is, if we want to make a Forge Industry 2, Forge Remastered, we need to have an artist. We need to have a dedicated artist. We need to have money for an artist. Maybe we don't hire them, but it's freelance, whatever. We need to have an artist. That's the big thing I've learned. And I don't want to go on his podcast. I don't think he wants us on his podcast, but it's for other stuff. Because I think there's still a different caliber to a Thomas Brush. Like the guys he has is much bigger than, honestly, me. I don't think he needs me. I think he has plenty of more interesting people to do first. He did reference us? I know there was one video where there was some drama where people thought that he was talking shit about us, but that's all I know. How big of a budget would you need? I don't know. I don't know how much it costs for art to begin with, because like I haven't because the thing is also we don't know how much models we want, how much everything we need basically. So we haven't planned any of this. It's like one of those what if ideas. Like, hey, if we really have nothing better to do and we want to make a bigger game, it would probably make the most sense to make Forge Industry 2 because we've already validated that it's an idea people are interested in. Yeah, any game you need an artist, maybe. Oh yeah, I remember the video of like 10 things I would start over. That's right, he did mention us in that one. And then made the same. Yeah, lighting and post-processing with complete pre-made sets is, I think, if you have no art, the best solution. But I think for a game like Forge Industry, so we used Cinti assets, but it's like, when you send emails to creators, how many times do you ask is it best to be persistent or I don't know. Send an email, I think only send it once, at most 2 times, that's it. But don't spam them because they'll just hate you. I don't know if you can see it. So, oh man, this was when I was doing 3D modeling myself. So a bunch of the stuff here, like the forge, and then the basins, and then the wood saw, like lumber mill area, the chests, I modeled those myself for some reason. And the harbor, I think the boat I made as well. And because this is even more of a mix and match problem, because then I realized, okay, I can't actually model for shit. Let's throw in a whole bunch of Cinti assets and then it just looked bad. The windmill I do like. The windmill I modeled myself, but the problem then is that the windmill, it's super unoptimized the most, because I didn't know what I was doing, once again. As I was supposed to be the artist, but I've never done any art in my life to begin with. Oh, I think here maybe you can see it better. So like this, the marketplace, this crate thing, cart, is, I made that myself, and everything else of this building is Cinti. And then here, the storage thing, all of the containers, so to say, I made myself, and then everything else inside of it is once again Cinti. And then here, once again, the lumber mill, I think all of this is made myself, except this little wall thing. Yeah. I don't need 3D. I think I'm just gonna, I learned to not try to do 3D again anytime soon. Yeah, like here as well, the refinement station was all me. The refinement station was the first building I ever made. Like later on, I also made a recycling station, and I think this one looked all right. This was the last building I made. I think it was interesting. It was a shape that, you know, is not a default in an asset pack, so to say. I think there was some interesting stuff with it. It was kind of kit bash. There's some Cinti assets like the gears thrown on top of it. Overall, still kind of bad. So we would need to know in advance what are all the assets we need, and then make a big ass list. Yeah, my colors are really off. I think that's not the only thing that's really off. Oh man, look at like the sand for the harbor building. It's not a harbor, I forgot the name. Like, this is like where you did the external trafficking, like the traffic post. Look, it means we've improved. Like, we can make this game much better now if we want to. But right now it's not worth to spend the time on this, because it's still going to take a long time of development. Also, Thomas isn't interested in this game genre. He never liked it, so it'll be a William thing. William is also working right now. We have more. The grid is visible, but not permanently. It's a setting. You can toggle grid on and off. When you place building, it's the default is it only shows when you place a building, but you can have it permanently on and you can have it permanently off. Yeah. What games do you think can be transferred from Steam to HTML5, and how can you look for trends? You look at what's popular upcoming with the 2D tag, and then you transfer that, I guess? Oh man, okay, let me first go to a private tab so I don't get 18 plus games. We don't have a Blue Sky, I'm not gonna make a Blue Sky. We don't use Twitter, we don't use Blue Sky. So, What's pop like? Probably something like a billionaire. I think this could work as a HTML5 game. Definitely. Lucky Goal. Why is this top seller? Did it just release? No, it released yesterday. 2 days ago, actually. Like stuff like this, maybe. But it's like, I don't know if the best strategy you can do. Like Dixium. I don't know if the best strategy you can do is just look at what's going good on Steam and then transferring that to, oh, I guess I still get sexual content even though I'm not logged in. Oh, the grid does not look nice. Don't kid yourself, Sean. I think how I did the grid is I just took the, like, I think our base ground texture is 64 by 64 pixels, and like I just added a 2-pixel border, and we like changed the texture depending on if the toggle was on or off. It was kind of bad still. Hey, something for you. If Valve releases a new console, are you going to make games for it? I think, you mean like a Steam Deck 2? Oh no, they had like some leaks for the new Valve big screen thing, right? I don't think Valve is really going to keep, like, Valve is going to already be compatible with a lot of things. Like, I think if a game is compatible with Steam Deck, it's going to be compatible with a console, right? Because back in like the days of like PlayStation 3 and whatever, the CPUs and architecture, it was all very specific to a platform. Now everything just runs on like an AMD CPU anyway. So if it runs on PC, it runs on Xbox, kinda. Yeah, Steam Machine version 2. It's just gonna be a PC. Because I remember they were also working on a new Steam controller, right? I think there's no special things needed, and I don't think they're gonna do anything for incentives. Dutween is a good asset, we've used it. Is Steam Deck comparable to a PS4 performance-wise? I don't know. Yeah, we want to do Switch 2. I want the Switch 2 to be announced, and I want Switch 2 dev kits to be available as well. Because right now we're in that awkward period of, okay, I told you earlier we got a government grant to expand our business to Japan, right? And one of the things we want to do with that is we want to buy Switch dev kits. But the thing is, we're looking at it now, it's like, does it make sense still to buy a 7-year-old console dev kit that is going to be, like, not end of life, because people are probably still going to be making games with it, but it's going to be, like, announced end of life already, kinda. Does it really make sense? Also, it's so much more pain because it's hardware from 7 years ago and it was already an underpowered tablet when it came out. So we're like, is it worth it? No, probably not. We're just gonna wait on Switch 2 and then we're gonna port everything we can to Switch 2. It's kind of the idea we have now. Because also Valve has like this thing. Oh, if you go to Steamworks, other tab. You have this thing here, submit hardware request, where you can get like, oh, for example, if you're a US developer and you've already released a game, you often get it for free. If you're not in the US, I don't know of any developers not in the US who got like the free Steam Deck OLED or LCD from Valve. But my guess is that the only thing you could maybe do is that there would be an extra drop down here for like their dev kit of the Steam machine. But I think they would still not send us one, for example. Because, yeah. Also, Amy, it's so they don't make that money themselves, but it's like the revenue per, like you take the total company revenue and you then divide it by how many people work there. So it's like the mean earnings per employee, so to say. It's similar to like how I think OnlyFans is like 70 people working there. It's like every person individually earns like 5 million, so to say, for the company, but they don't earn that themselves. It's just because companies like Facebook have like, or like Meta have like so many employees that, yeah, sure, they earn a lot of money, but they have to pay way more like people and things like that. Yeah, there's a high install base on the Switch. That's the one thing, but it's like, is it worth to learn? Because the documentation, guys, you don't understand how bad it is for these platforms to begin with as well. Get anything out on day one of Switch 2. The problem is probably, that's what I told with Thomas as well. Thomas is also, yeah, I want to release on Switch day one. The problem is Switch 2, sorry, it's going to be announced in March, but don't kid yourself that there aren't already like the top developers, so to say, are already having Switch 2 dev kits. We are the low scum at the bottom of the Nintendo developer chain, and we get to buy it like 2 weeks before like the Switch 2 comes out probably. We will never probably be able to have a launch title because they're smart as well. They know which games are going to sell to begin with. So of course they're going to get preferential treatment. There were already leaks of, I think, dev kits being available for Switch 2 back at Gamescom last year in August. So yeah, I think there was going to be things like backwards compatibility and things like that. But it's like, we only have so much effort. Yeah, we're using Unity as well, but I don't think that's going to take too long for them to support it. We're like bottom tier developers at the end of the day. Like, we haven't made millions of dollars yet for Switch on like a Stardew Valley or a Tunic. Like, you know that Stardew Valley is going to be a launch title day one for Switch. You know that, or like Switch 2. They're probably already talking with Eric Barone or their publisher or whatever to work on it right now, and we are still guessing. Because they know everyone's going to buy Stardew Valley on the Switch 2 as well. You can't not buy Stardew Valley and do another run. Yeah, it's profit per employee for the company, not income per employee, indeed. Yeah, the store on Switch 1 is a mess indeed. So that's why we're gonna try PlayStation and Xbox, but that's probably only gonna be a Q2 thing. Q2, Q3 this year. Because it's gonna be Thomas's thing as well. He has to do it because I think it's a lot of QA is another thing that's gonna be painful to deal with. Like on Steam, there's basically no QA. PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch are way stricter with all of that. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, and my 3.5 women watching if you're still here. I think I'm gonna wrap things up soon. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thomas is going to live stream at some point. Hopefully this month. I am going to kill him if he doesn't live stream this month, which may mean the end of Bite Me Games, but it's worth it if it means that he at least does a live stream one. So thank you all for tuning in, I guess. There's a video out if you want to go watch a video. I think it's a good one. Unfortunately, it hasn't the performance that I was looking for so far. I think let me refresh. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Go and watch this. It's a good video. I think it's a good video. Talks about some important stuff. So yeah. I'm still stuck at some chord. It's very hard. Yeah, I told you, Hanzo, skill issue. And I already made that part easier with the latest update. So yeah. Well, thanks for having dropped by, everyone. It was nice chatting with you guys again. It's been 2 weeks. It's been since last year since I did a live stream. So we're gonna be doing more of these. You know it. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.